this world has been connected. And now darkness within darkness awaits you.
In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
My name is Ansem. I reach for the darkness.
One who knows nothing can understand.
Tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. This is episode number 222 of the longest-running Kingdom Hearts podcast in the world. MDA award-winning, by the way. My name is Mike, and with me, as always, is my brother, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo.
What's going on, Jason? How you doing?
Dude, I probably got like 2 hours of sleep, if that. Shout out like tornado, thunderstorms and shit, just being loud as shit right outside my house for like 4 hours
crazy.
Last night. The one time I try to go to sleep at a decent fucking time.
I was outside last night and I was wearing my like ruby slippers and a fucking house almost fell on me, dude.
Damn.
I know. And then my legs almost like curled up all creepily like it does in Wizard of Oz. Anyway, that's not real. That didn't happen. But we survived the storm and we survived the busy period of my work. So thank you guys for being patient while we took a little bit longer to get this episode out. Today we're going to talk about the end of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, the original Kingdom Hearts.
It's time for Kingdom Hearts to end. Specifically
the first one, at least. Yes. But before we get to that, there was a big, huge, ginormous, spectacular announcement.
Massive.
At the end of March Caprice, after our most recent episode. And that is that Reconnect is returning as an in-person event for one last time in the summer of 2027 in Anaheim, California. It's a 3-day event with a pre-connect gathering, a day at the Disneyland Park in Anaheim, and then the Million Dreams Awards on day 3. And we are very excited about this event. We love Reconnect. We had a blast at the last 2, and very excited that Mr. and Mrs. KH Guides are putting this event on one final time. There's not really a whole lot more info other than summer 2027. And there's some FAQ stuff on the website that you should go check out if you're interested. But Jason, Tara, and I will be there. And we would love to see you guys. And I would like to ride the teacup ride. Do they have teacups there? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I would like to ride the teacup ride with each and every one of you.
I was going to say, like, I'd love to hear Slinky Dog in Spanish.
I don't know if they have Slinky Dog in Disneyland.
I don't know if they got it like that in Cali.
I think it's Orlando only.
I don't know.
I hope he is, though, because the Ernest impersonator doing the ride instructions in Spanish is my favorite thing of all time.
Hola.
Bienvenidos. Like, so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, so we're definitely looking forward to that event. And then similarly, March Caprice, one of our other favorite online events, announced that next year in March, for March Caprice 7, will also be their final year. And
so it's time for KH to end. Unlucky,
basically,
dude.
I think, these two events kind of were created and existed to kind of get us through what we thought was going to be a much shorter lull in Kingdom Hearts video game content. Now they've made the decision to say, hey, we're done whether this KH4 comes out or not.
Nomura trying to kill the fandom, dude. Holy shit.
It's crazy that I think they, the fact that we haven't gotten a Kingdom Hearts game, but we've gotten 6 March Caprices and probably a 7th before we get the next Kingdom Hearts game
probably
is
3
pretty
Final
insane.
Fantasy 7s. Like, holy shit, bro. Low key, almost 4. Almost 4.
Yeah.
Probably 4.
I don't like focusing on it because that's all everybody wants to talk about these days. There's nothing to talk about. There's plenty to talk about. Kingdom Hearts is a well that will never run dry, and these events are proof of that. I mean, the fact that they've done 6 March Caprices and they've been just better and better every year. I would like to say that, Jason, I think we have to be involved in March Caprice 7. I think we have to do either a live podcast or something. We've missed the last 2 years because it's just really bad. The month of March and April are really bad timing for me and my job. But I think we just have to bite the bullet. We have to be a part of the last March Caprice. So
it's funny you were like saying it gets better and better every year, and then I was gonna make a joke about how we haven't been in the last 2, and so that's where it's like really been peaking right now. But
honestly,
I guess
we're gonna drag it back down for the last one.
We gotta ruin the last one, low key.
right. We have to ruin the last one, so we will be part of it. And what's really cool is these events are partnering. So because there's not going to be like a event day for Reconnect where they have like the different interactive events on stage and stuff, with the exception of the MDAs, they're pushing everybody, hey, if you have an event that you wanted to do for Reconnect, do it for March Caprice. And I think that's really cool that these two events are partnering in that way.
Yeah, I hope they do like the Rando Bingo. That was ballin'.
The Rando Bingo was cool, yeah. I liked the Price is Right style game show that the Reading Gardeners did. I thought that was a lot of fun, too. That was really cool. If you're interested in either of these events, please go to their websites. Obviously, we're over a year away from either of them happening. Well, not over a year away from March Caprice because that will still happen in March, but close to a year away. Now's your last chance to get involved with these events if you hadn't been involved before. I think they're both very cool, fun, rewarding events to get involved with. We've done both, obviously, being the host of the MDAs the 2 years that we've done it, and then obviously we did 5 the first 4 March Caprice. We are going to do the last one as well. So I cannot push you enough to be involved in these events, even if it's just attending Reconnect or just watching the stuff from March Caprice. Go check out the stuff from March Caprice 6. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there.
You could honestly watch the last 6.
Right. You could
still there.
I'm pretty sure they're all there. Everything's there. The concerts are incredible. Everything about it is great. And Reconnect does have a sponsorship program where you can go and give money to help support the event. Obviously, I don't think they're charging a ticket price because everybody has to pay to get into Disneyland, right? But this helps them with the different events that they're doing, like the pre-connect and then the MDAs itself on the final day. And I know that if you donate a certain amount, you get put on a t-shirt that I have the t-shirt from the last Reconnect, and it says Super Spaghetti Bros on the back of it, and I really like that t-shirt. It's a high-quality shirt.
I've worn it 1,000,000 times, washed it 1,000,000 times, dried it 1,000,000 times, and it hasn't worn down at all.
It's a cool event to give money to, so if you want to help in that way, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. Go to their website. You can donate there. Shout out to both those teams. You guys should all be extremely proud of the events you put on. They've made a big difference in my life, and I know countless other people. So yeah. Anyway,
I don't know why we tried. I don't know why it ended so like kind of like somber there. That is like really good news.
I mean, there is something somber about it, right?
Yeah, I
because
guess,
it's like the last events of these, right?
Who knows?
And
who knows?
I don't know, man. I think you look at Chaney.
Maybe Chaney
and
wins
he
the
has
lottery,
dead
though,
eyes. Chaney
He
can't
used to
do
have
a March
twinkle
Caprice
in his
8.
eye. That
He used to have a twinkle in his eye, and it's gone. Chaney is. I love Chaney to death.
We
but
hate
Chaney's
Kingdom
like,
Hearts.
yeah.
Chaney absolutely hates Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Chaney's ready for March Caprice to be done. He's like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. You know what I mean? He's throwing lightsabers
Ruined
over
by
his shoulder.
Disney. True.
He's drinking the milk out of the teat of the alien. He get it all over his hermit beard.
Yep.
He's he's yelling a lot when people try to ask him about March Caprice. He's just ready to be done, And I don't blame him.
Yeah, we're gonna go to hang out with Chaney, and we're gonna hand him a tablet that shows the release date for KH4. Be like, you can do March Caprice 7, and then he's just gonna fucking throw it. It's gonna be cinema, dude.
Yeah.
The funniest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a skit that's gonna happen. Look, you can do March Caprice 8, and then he's just gonna throw it.
A montage of us
March
looking for
Caprice
him in different
end.
places.
Yeah,
and then he just throws it.
Jason's dressed up as Ray, and I'm Chewbacca.
Oh hell yeah! Bald Ray.
Bald Ray. Bald Ray and Bald Chewbacca. Bald Chewbacca's. Is Bald Chewbacca just a man? I don't know. What does he look like without the hair? Is he just a man?
I actually don't want to know. Nobody send that to us. I don't want to know.
Yeah, no one draw Bald Chewbacca, please, and share it in our Discord. Links in the description. No one do that. No Bald Chewbacca, please.
Would maybe like just Mike's beard, and it's got the like, it's got like the white in where Mike has it. Nobody do that.
Nobody specifically draw me as bald, naked Chewbacca.
Okay, please.
No,
please.
No one do that and share it in our Discord. Link in the description. No one do that. Anyway, don't draw Jason as Bald Ray either. and Chaney as Luke Skywalker, Hermit Luke Skywalker. No one draw this. Tara can be one of the, what are they, poros? What are those things called?
Poro.
They're not poros,
No,
but what are they called?
They're porgs.
Porgs. Yeah, porgs. Those things are funny.
Well, then there was also like the little like the little goblin people that were on the island too.
Oh yeah, like the nuns.
Yeah, they kind of had that energy, but like they don't talk. Yeah. They just make noises too. So it was like you had like two types of fucking minions on the island, bro. Like the porg wasn't enough. Let's get the.
I don't want to hear anybody talk about like, oh, these movies didn't have the spirit of George Lucas. George Lucas would absolutely come up with all these little fucking creatures and be like, these creatures are important.
They're
Everybody's
integral
gonna love
to the story.
They're integral
Someone
to the
give
story.
me a Coke Zero.
Babu Frick. Babu Frick is the key, and he's right, dude. He cooked. He didn't cook, but whoever made Babu Frick.
Babu Freak. That's what I am.
I'm a freak for Babu Frick, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a freak for him. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. Thanks for joining our Star Wars podcast. When we come back, let's talk about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1. Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. Jay, the final chapter of the first book of our book club, Kingdom Hearts 1. We're here.
Dude,
when we last left off, we were entering the end of the world. But before that, you have, again, a extremely long and boring gummy mission.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna keep it so real. I feel like motherfucking Frodo Baggins on the edge of Mount Doom while it's erupting. And I'm just like crying because I just destroyed an inconceivable evil that has been torturing me for the last God knows how long. And I'm like, it's done. We did it. Kingdom Hearts 1 is over.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This shit was tilting me,
I don't know that
bro.
I share the same reaction.
It limit tested me so hard, bro.
Yeah. We can talk about let's go through what we did to finish this off, and then we can talk about our overall feelings of it.
Yeah.
So you get to the end of the world, and what I found interesting, and I'm sure we've made this comparison before, but isn't this just when you enter Sin in Final Fantasy X?
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe for sure. It's really funny.
I mean, it's literally the same. You walk through a path with invisible walls that's like waterish, right?
Yeah.
To open chests, and then you get in random battles.
Yep.
Right? Which aren't super random. They happen at intervals.
It feels random when you're doing it the first time, yeah.
Right. And then you just get to this like cornucopia in the middle of this like bright light. Like it's literally the same this beginning. And it's very interesting because obviously FF10 came out first, but it's almost like Nomura saw that, or whoever designed this section of the game, and said, yeah, let's run that back. It's pretty interesting when you look at it that way.
I think it looks really cool. Like the first time you load in and like it has the end of the world freaking logo come up, and I thought that was really cool. In the cutscene where Goofy's like, well, they kind of have like one of very few like introspective thoughts about, well, if we make this place disappear, what the hell is gonna happen to us? Like they
right.
And then Goofy, as usual, is like, well, I'm gonna explain it to the reader or the player. In Japanese, it felt very weird because I don't know. He doesn't have the same like a reassuring kind of vibe that he does in English for me. I think it's just like the small differences in the language, but like it felt incredibly out of pocket and out of character for me when he's like, if the world disappears, our hearts won't. We'll find each other, kind of shit, right? Like,
and he's like, yep, yeah, you know what? That sounds right to me. Yep, okay. And they're just all kind of like, yeah, this guy knows, but it's like, does he know?
He's a knower, bro, like, apparently.
Does he, like, fucking thumbnail with the Riddler on it? Does he know? You know what I mean? Like,
but it's Goofy.
But it's Goofy? I don't know that. No one draw that and put it in our Discord, link in the description.
With the red circle around nothing. With
the red yeah, does he know? I don't know that I was asking myself this question going into this part, right? But they definitely thought, hey, people are going to ask what happens if they do this, because we just told them that this is like the leftovers of all the worlds that have been lost to darkness. So they make a point of like saying, hey, yeah, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Now, does Goofy know?
It's for the kids. The kids were worried.
So you go through this area and you get kind of a bunch of useless items, and you fight the behemoth twice. You fight the behemoth a total of 3 times in this section overall, which I think it's a little much.
Well, and then if you did Hades Cup, you fought it there too.
Yeah,
but for whatever
Hades
reason,
Cup, and then
that
you
one
also
had been like horse tranquilized or something in order to keep it in the Coliseum, because it's like way easier, even though it has 1 million health, it like doesn't do anything.
And the thing is too, like if you had played the end of Hollow Bastion and then went right into this, you fought it there too, right? But
I didn't
we had a couple weeks
save, so I literally had to do that. I had to do
Oh no.
I had to do the second part again.
No.
I was like, okay, well, at least it's literally just like one fight and like running through Hollow Bastion, like.
Yeah. The next area is really aesthetically cool. It's like the area with a bunch of different platforms, and there's like weird like lasers between walls and weird like shapes. There's that cut content thing that looks a lot like this, where it's an arena where you supposedly would have fought Riku around this section of the game, but they ended up cutting that fight.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1 nails aesthetics. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
how
for sure.
You know, if there's one thing this game does right, it's like it makes a bunch of really cool areas for you to explore and look at.
Well, and if you really look into it, there's like parts of like the worlds and like Easter eggs,
right.
And like there's a lot of really cool stuff to be seen there if you look for it. But even if you're not looking for it, you can still be like, yeah, this is a fucking cool ass place. It passes the vibe check for sure.
And then you go to the section with all the different like fire fountains, and it's you do a battle in each of the worlds you visited, which I think is cool and a nice touch. Some of them overstayed their welcome.
Yeah.
A little bit.
The Olympus one is very long. I went through and did all of them because I just I hadn't done them in so long, and so it was like, might as well, like smell the roses type shit. Mm-hmm. And I was so surprised at like how hidden some of the chests are, because they all have a chest, and like the first one, I'm like, oh, the first one that caught my eye as far as like how it's kind of hidden for zero reason is like the Olympus one is like behind the statue's foot, and then
which there's a chest there in the main world.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
Dude, the Agrabah one is fucking crazy because like you can walk through like it's all the 3 rooms in the main like town area, and it's like up on in the last room you got to jump onto a platform, then onto the wooden platform, then jump up, grab the ledge, pull yourself up, jump up again, grab a ledge, pull yourself up again, and it's up there in the top corner. I was like, what? And then like it's a fucking rock. Most of the chests are just rocks. Like, yeah,
I'm gonna keep it real. I took one look around the like bottom area and just said nope and left and didn't even look
they're all like synthesis for the most part. One thing I was really shocked though, you get like 1 AP boost for Atlantica, but there's the chest in Hook's ship, and you have to like go in like get like trapped in the room, and then it opens up the next door. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever experienced this. I think I always just specifically like got bored of clearing them by the time I got to Hook's ship, because I don't remember ever like doing that. Like you climb up the ladder, go into the left room, the door's shut, and it's just you in there, and then you like fight the bomb barrels, and then okay, now when you exit, the door to the left's open now, so you can go there, and then you go down the hallway, and then there's a chest in there. And it has like a juiced ass, like a 15 strength, absolute juicer of a Goofy shield. I was like, oh, yo, okay.
Yeah, there's a weapon in that area we talked about before this for Donald, too, that juices his strength like 20 points or something. It's insane.
Yeah. Also, at this point, you get the you can get the Mega Elixir in 100 Acre. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized in Japanese, it's not called a Mega Elixir. It's called Last Elixir.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's
kind of got aura.
The one notable new place you visit in all these before the boss is this room in Hollow Bastion that you don't see in your visit to Hollow Bastion, but it's the infamous pod room. Where it gives you this, you go to the console and it gives you this like speech about the door to darkness and all this stuff. But this is where later on this room becomes important to the most recent Kingdom Hearts game that came out, which is Melody of Memory. And it's interesting how they brought this kind of thing back for Union Cross and Melody of Memory in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it's very cool looking.
Like 20 years later.
Yeah. Right. 20 years later. And there's like weird like darkness like pools like in the corner.
Yeah.
And you could tell Ansem was up to some fucking shit in here. You know what I mean? Some fuck shit. some mad fucking experiment shit. This is also in certain spots. This is where we run into the infamous 3 enemies that make this end game annoying: the Invincibles, the Angels, and the Dark Balls. The reason the Dark Balls aren't annoying if you take them out immediately.
Well, what's weird
and
with them
they're
is
pretty weak.
They seem like they can be hit earlier than they actually can be, and also when they come out of their invulnerable shit that they do, like you have to like wait a solid second before you can hit them. I think the thing that is like the most egregious, even like I'm playing on beginner, I got juice stats, I got the freaking I forget what it's called, Rumbling Rose type shit. Like I'm juiced, and even with being able to two combo them, it's like you're still finding ways to like absolutely rage bait me. Like it's crazy. I'm just trying to do a combo on an Invincible because if I can get the 2 off without any fuckery happening, then they just die. But sometimes Goofy or Donald will like trigger an Angel to go into invulnerability, and I'll clank on the Angel. I'm not even trying to fucking hit, and then that makes it so the Invincible can go into its invulnerability.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
so what they do is the Angels will, no matter what you're doing to them, mid combo, they just can protect themselves, and you clank off them for a solid, 3 or 4 hits. You can't hit them. And then the Invincibles, when their health gets low enough, they'll do this this early version of a desperation maneuver where they throw their sword on the ground and then they kind of possess you for a minute and damage you, but you can't hit them once they start doing this. And so it makes them really annoying, especially in large groups of all 3, which happens a few times.
Yeah.
The main issue that I found, because I'm level 45-ish, so I'm not like over leveled by any stretch, but I don't know that I'm under leveled. I think I'm in the right
I think I'm like
spot.
level 50.
When it becomes a problem is when Donald and Goofy go down, because then they're not drawing any aggro from any of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting ahead of myself, but when you get to that final room, that's when it becomes a problem, when those 2 die, because you have Angels shooting like machine gun level balls at you, and then the darkness are possessing you, and then the dark balls are all over, and so it can be a lot, and that's why that room is infamous. But this is where you first meet these enemies, and they're pretty annoying. We'll get to the final room because I'm skipping ahead. We don't want to do that because first we have
one last thing I want to say about the rooms that you go through, where like it's like the retread. I thought it was actually really cool, and I forgot about this too, that they used the Oogie Boss room in that one, and that's just like such a W. Like it's basically like a no-brainer once you think about it, like, oh yeah, of course you would reuse this like really cool room in
it's
a
also
way
like
that
the biggest room in that world.
Yeah, it also just makes it feel like it's like a alive again kind of thing, even though even though in the context it's like kind of eerie. Like being able to use that room again, I wish they would have done that again with like it. I wish the Atlantica fight would have been in the Ursula room. That could have been cool. Or like
that room sucks. Though, man. It's so small.
Yeah, but like it. I think it being smaller in that context actually helps because the enemies are closer and you're not chasing them around like a massive room or anything. And it just is like, hey, you only ever did one thing in here, but it's like, it's cool to come back here again. I like what they did with like Hook's ship. And like with the Coliseum, obviously it's basically 3 rooms. So it's like, what can you do with that? But like,
they picked the one room where you don't ever fight anything in.
Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, I kind of wish they would have done that in Agrabah, even though like that room is really big. It just would have been a cool moment to be able to go back.
A nice
there.
touch, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So at the end of this is Chernobald. Chernobog. Bald. Night on Bald Mountain. That's just every night for a guy like me. And he, okay, so I wasn't nearly as mad at this fight as I was the Ursula fight, and they're very similar fights. I think flying just feels better than swimming, just slightly.
Yeah.
Because of the no mermaid kick. I also think his moves are a little, while annoying, like him pushing you away, they're a little more fair than Ursula.
It's not as much of a constant barrage. Yeah.
Right. There's no lightning. It's the fire. While the fire hits you multiple times, which I think is actually kind of cool because it plays on the mechanics of Second Chance, right? He's just a little more fair. What I didn't notice before is how fucking cunty he is. Like, bro is serving cunt, like, with his, like, hand movements and his, like, he's just a very, very cunty guy.
Kind of is.
And I was playing and I'm watching the footage I have back right now, and he is just serving, dude. And I respect it. I respect it. He's got a bald head, he's got a bald crotch, but he's still serving cunt, dude.
I think, like, compared to, like, the Behemoth and, like, other fights where it's, like, giant, like Cerberus or whatever, I definitely think that at least fighting it on beginner kind of juice, like, it was super unoffensive for me personally, but
yeah,
I remember having done it on level 1 and being like, this is awful.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, everything on level 1's awful, but yeah. I didn't really, I wasn't mad at him this time. And I do think that it's like a really cool idea for leveraging like a piece of Disney history into a cool boss fight, right?
Yeah, you would have never suspected that would ever happen.
It's a bit out of left field, right? It's like Fantasia. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, but like when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking cool, right? Like of course, this like demon from this movie would be like a cool boss, right?
Yeah.
And so I as negative as we've been about a lot of things, I'm pretty positive on Chernobyl's this time around. I thought it was a fun time. You go into some different tunnels that are very secret place-esque. Like you can tell you're getting close to the part of the end of the world that's like Destiny Island. It's clearly supposed to be modeled after that. And you go into what I don't remember if it's called the room before the final rest. I don't remember what the room's called, but it's a big gauntlet room where you first fight a Guy Fieri behemoth. A large mob of angels, dark balls, and invincibles, like we talked about earlier.
The worst room in the game.
Each wave, you break off a piece of this heartless symbol in the room that will allow you to escape. And it's a tough room, man, for a lot of things we talked about already. But you typically are doing fine until Donald and Goofy go down, and then you draw all the aggro. You should probably bring a few elixirs with you, or mega elixirs, or last elixirs if you're nasty.
Yes. Or even just like a mega potion, you know, like just get them in there.
Yeah, but it gets. I died once. I got very close to the end, and then I ego chowed myself and didn't heal when I should have, because I was like, oh no, I gotta get this one hit off, and then I died, and I didn't have my microphone on while recording, because I'm just recording footage. But even though my microphone wasn't on, if you watch the footage right now, you can still hear me yell "fuck" when I die. Like, you can just hear it. Like, you just know.
It echoes.
And so I had to do it again, but the second time was very successful, not a problem, just annoying. The one other thing about these enemies that make them annoying, specifically the angels and the invincibles, the way they move, they're purposely designed to just get out of your reach. Just barely get out of your reach when you go to swing at them. Like, they do just the tiniest little dodge that like gets you out, and then they go into their DM, right? It's like you're just about to, because you can stun lock combo the invincibles. Right, they don't have a thing like the angels where they can
just get like super armor randomly. Yeah,
right. If you don't get that first hit in, their health slow, they're so likely to go into that DM, and that's where they get really, really annoying.
Or like you're mid combo, and then like maybe Donald or Goofy hit them away from you, and then you can't get it, or you clank on a freaking angel, and so then they do it, and it's just like it can go from bad to worse really, really quick. and it's just like a slog. Like there's so many waves, and even when you like know like a strat like Simba and like with this whole setup and everything, and you're like clearing the waves, like it's still like gives that room gives me like anxiety. Like I don't like that room at all.
And I think it's partially intended to, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, it's like the big last challenge before the final boss, right? But I think because of how annoying some of the mechanics with the enemies are and just how Kingdom Hearts 1 works, it can become a very frustrating room very quickly.
Well, what's funny is while doing those last areas and like the little retreads and then the heart room, like I realized like a thing that happens in a lot of games, and I've been noticing it even in like modern games that I've been playing, like Overwatch or Deadlock or like things like that, where I feel like for whatever reason, and I think it's like especially in third person games, devs just like they do not take into account like a verticality a lot of times, and the annoyance of not being able to see, where it's like if the camera is not designed in such a way that like and it's even kind of an issue in like a Final Fantasy VII remake, right? It's like you have these enemies where you wanted to add verticality because it would be cool, but like it ends up being way more of like a nuisance than something cool. And I there are flying enemies in later Kingdom Hearts games for sure, but I feel like with the movement and with just the base combos and even the enemy AI, they are designed in such a way to have way clearer windows of engagement, or like reaction commands if you're playing KH2, or there's just like obviously you can use like gravity in KH1 or like Simba or something like that, but like it's not nearly enough in my opinion, where it really does become like KH1 specifically for me is very much a death by 1,000 cuts. I think in the format of us doing this in bi-weekly, it's, even though I know I've been really negative, I think it made the medicine go down type shit for me, where like I think if I was just sitting down playing through this in large chunks, like if we were streaming it, I'd just have a lot more negative, because it's there's small things here and there where like an enemy, you feel like you should have hit it, but it just barely, whether it's like the weird camera offset making it so that like it feels like you should have hit but it didn't, or they have like tiny little hops or something like a Power Wild has, or like things stunning you or clanking on you that you feel like you shouldn't have, or whatever. It's just like that last room really just like personifies what I really dislike about Kingdom Hearts 1, and like it's what always makes me dread the end game, which is like sad because that's where like a lot of the coolest parts of what really made me fall in love with Kingdom Hearts has. So it's just like it's too triggering for me.
Yeah, I get it. Once you're out that room, you get the final restroom where it warns you, like, hey, this is the end of the line, so make sure you're ready to go do it, right?
The disembodied voice from the beginning of the game comes back.
You end up in what looks like Destiny Islands, and when you try to go to the secret place, it becomes a ruined version of Destiny Islands, and there is Hula Skirt Riku standing there. And this cutscene opens with a really cool shot of, like, it's like Riku's torso as Sora, Donald, and Goofy run up behind him, and they're out of focus, and he's in focus.
Yeah.
And it's, Billy Zane going, take a look at this tidy place. And the camera kind of pans over. But then one thing I noticed, Riku's, he's still Riku, he's standing there. He's talking about how Riku gave it his heart in the darkness. And as he turns around, he transforms into Ansem. But he's the same height that Riku is. Like, he like turns around and like his face is lined up exactly where Riku is. So like is brother on his knees?
If you like,
because
no,
Ansem's
if
like
you no clip, like what does that look like? I guess
exactly. Like I want to know what it looks like if you no clip, because like he just kind of the transformation is so funny because I'm
think
watching
about
it again right now. You don't think about it, but like if you do for a second, like. It goes from Riku standing there, and you can see like down to his basically where his knees would be, just above his knees. But then when he transforms in frame, it's just Ansem's like chest and up, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't like move up in the camera frame or anything.
Yeah.
And when they finally cut to a wide shot, he's just standing there, right? But it's like, wait a minute, what happened there? Like if you no clipped that scene,
what horrors did they just see that we
I'm guessing his just like his feet are buried in the
it's like
ground up
through
to
the
his
ground,
knees.
Yeah.
I would guess.
It's down in the sand,
but
the darkness.
It's just
sand.
really funny. Or he's like doing the thing where he's on his knees and then he puts his shoes on his kneecaps, so it looks like he's just a little guy. You know,
I'm just a little guy.
I don't know what he's doing, but it was just really funny. Just rewatching it now, I just noticed it. But this is they give Billy Zane a good minute here to cook, and berate Sora for not understanding anything after coming this far. And Sora argues, "No, deep inside, I know there's a light that never goes out." And you get your first fight with Ansem and the Come Guardian, as we so lovingly call him. Because of the way the island's set up, there's like a weird verticality to it that I actually kind of enjoy, unless you're at the top with him and you kind of beat up Ansem into the middle, and then he decides he's going to hang out up there for a little too long.
Yeah, they needed to
eventually come down,
sink the floor and the roof. Like
if
he slid down as he got down, it would have been nice.
Yeah. But he's got a lot of cool moves. He does the Come Guardian, where he like kind of guards him. The Guardian throws like these cool darkness discs. And then there's Submit, which basically the Come Guardian possesses you, and every so often he replaces attack with freeze, and he kind of grabs you. And then Ansem just kind of does his like laser cage and tries to damage you during it. And that move, while cool, is pretty annoying. Because it just, you kind of, in order to like dodge it, like if you get hit with it, you basically just have to kind of wait it out. You know, and then sometimes he possesses Donald or Goofy, so then Ansem still goes into laser cage mode even though you're not being frozen, and you can still get some pot shots in on him or whatever. But it's just, I don't know, when the open your heart part is pretty annoying to me, and especially when you fight him one on one and a couple fights later, because sometimes he just seems to want to spam submit.
Yeah, there's like a hidden wheel in the AI, and it's like, hey, you're throwing Destructo discs, you're submitting, or you're doing the Come Guardian. Like, which one are you getting, bruh?
But this fight's pretty easy, but it's cool. It starts off this kind of gauntlet versus Ansem here. Once you defeat him, he kind of he busts the tree up and goes into this kind of like cavern, like arena in the middle of the island. And when you jump in, Donald and Goofy aren't allowed to follow you. And you fight the dark side randomly. He returns, and for the second of a million times in the series, and just pretty standard what it was in the first time. It's just more thematic than anything, not really a challenging fight or anything special about him. He just kind of does what he did at the beginning of the game. It's just you're stronger now and he's stronger.
Yeah.
And then you fight Ansem 2v1 because he has the Come Guardian with him. And this fight is a little more involved than the previous one. You're on flat ground for one. But he adds a couple moves to his arsenal, including Take This, where he just flies at you 3 times. And then the 4th time, he kind of like fakes and then flies at you, which I think is really fun. But you can guard that and get some tech points and stop that attack, which is really cool. There's not a ton of, I mean, there's tech points, obviously, but there's not a ton of like, in this game, like maneuvers like that where you can kind of interrupt a boss and make them pay for it by using that move. And so, and where if you compare it to like Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so I think these fights kind of inform a lot of what the future of the series was going to become in a good way.
Yeah.
Because I think while we'll talk about the ship next, I think this boss fight is actually well designed and cool.
I think most of the humanoid
maybe
bosses that are like on the ground, so like not Jafar. I think the humanoid bosses were always a hit, pretty much in Kingdom Hearts 1, and
yeah, I agree, and this guy's no exception.
Yeah, and
then he has a DM, which again happens in Kingdom Hearts 1, but not a ton. And I think Dark Riku has it. I'm struggling to think of anybody else that does.
For those who are following
desperation
along,
maneuver.
Yeah. DM is desperation move. If they get to a certain HP and you don't stun lock them, then they will use that move, and it's like a phase 2 kind of vibe.
Well, and like aesthetically, the screen darkens when they do it, which is a really cool touch. Yeah. His is, the Come Guardian jumping out of the ground. I forgot to equip Super Glide.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Which makes that attack pretty easy to dodge because you just glide around the arena. You can dodge roll it and still be fine.
Yeah.
And the fight, once he gets to a certain health threshold, basically becomes he will do about 2 moves and then he'll go back to that again.
Yeah, so you really gotta punish him.
You really gotta punish him. So that's where it's nice that you can punish, take this, right? Or you can, if you come Guardians, you can roll behind him and hit him from there, right?
Yeah.
Or you can dodge submit and then punish him.
But then he'll go back to that. Mash X and like the submit like goes under your feet because Sora randomly jumped up,
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I dodged a lot.
That's how you do it, dude.
I will tell you, I ego challenged myself again and died towards the end of this fight.
Damn.
And what's annoying about that is you have to fight the dark side again, which is just kind of padding,
yeah.
Right? At least you don't have to fight the first fight again, but you have to fight the dark side again.
Well, it's like if you're I know a lot of people are like doing the achievements and stuff, but it's like if you're doing when you do your beginner, no change equipment, speed run, no continues, and you die on any of these, ooh, it is rough. I only got submitted twice. I got submitted once in the first fight on the beach, and then once during the fight in the little hole, in the little crater. In Japanese, he says kuzure, which is like crumble or collapse.
Ooh. Yeah, it's similar meaning to what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's when he's saying submit, he's meaning like submit your will.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like
let your will collapse.
I'm like listening for the submit audio in order to like cringe in fear, but I didn't have that level of PTSD here, so I think that's what made it so I only got submitted once.
So once you beat him, you're kind of transported to this like void, and he's like, "Behold the heart of all worlds, Kingdom Hearts. Look as hard as you were able. You'll not even find the smallest glimmer of light." I don't know, bro. That shit looks lit up as fuck to me.
That shit is like actually the only thing that's bright in this entire area.
Right. He, gives his little stump speech like he does about the darkness. But then Sora looks down and suddenly he is a fucking boat. He's a ginormous boat in front of you.
He's basically like a Final Fantasy airship that's been corrupted, is like the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got this big doofy face on the front of it. And then he's got like the Come Guardians kind of transformed into like this like almost robot looking thing behind him.
Like a giant knight. A dark knight.
Yeah, Donald and Goofy get sucked into a darkness portal. And as Sora's falling into the abyss, he hears Riku's voice, "Giving up already? Come on, Sora. I thought you were stronger than that." And Sora kind of disappears in the darkness, but then triumphantly flies back up, which I thought was a cool...
It's like, oh yeah, I can fly.
...moment. That's right. I am stronger. You talked at length in a previous episode of this book club about how you hate this fight. And I think your
I think I got my point across that first time, like...
Yeah, I don't think we need to beat it up a ton, and I think
Yeah.
your points are valid because it is kind of an annoying fight. They don't, there's not... It's similar to, like, Ursula or Chernobyl, where it's like, they take away a lot of your agency. Like, it's a bummer that, like...
It's just
I can't...
HP resource management. Make sure you have arrow up so you don't get one shot by giant AoE abilities... Little mob spawning
you can't
and lasers.
use your abilities.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can't use strike rate if I wanted to against him.
Like.
Right. It's just, unfortunate that this is how the final boss
You're trying to hit the little pustules and then you're clanking on the fucking floor. It's just like.
But, like we've said, aesthetics-wise, this is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, he's got these, like, cool, like, techno pants on, and he's shirtless, and he's got, like, a fucking glaive that looks like Riku's
The glaive is really
Dawn.
cool.
The Come Guardian behind him has, like, 3 dragon heads on his shoulders and his chest that just look, like, fucking cool. There's also some... It's like, really gross kind of design in a lot of the spots. Like, there's the big pustule you beat up at one point that's just, like, a big blob with a face
big-ass
on it.
tumor. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the things that shoot at you look kind of phallic in nature.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
There's just a lot about it that's cool, and a lot about it that's like kind of gross, But then it's like,
it's so funny.
The way
like the
it's
aesthetic
colored,
of the top half and the aesthetic of the bottom half like does not match to me.
Well, and it's almost like the only other place you see stuff like this in this game is like Monstro, right? Because you're inside the anatomy of a living being.
Yeah.
And so like the bottom half is very Monstro and the top half is very like, darkness. Well, and so it
almost feels like technically like you were saying, because he has like these cords coming out of his back and stuff, like he's connected to it. But then like the giant like Dark Knight demon that the Guardians kind of turned into is a lot more like, it looks more like armored rather than fleshy to me,
Yeah.
And so it's definitely, the aesthetics is like kind of weird,
it's like
comparing top half and bottom.
Geiger-ish for kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Alien, but if like, hey, Disney made it, right? You know what I mean? Like that's it's very strange in that regard. But it's cool. You go into multiple portals to save Donald and Goofy, and you're like in complete darkness when you do fighting enemies. The fucking dark ball room is the worst.
Yeah.
Because you can't fucking see them, and then they just start and get really annoying. But you go through defeating various like nodes and like cocks and and once you beat the humanoid Ansem the first time, he kind of goes into like a little like a recharge zone or something.
He's in a little stasis pod.
And then you go save Donald and Goofy. You fight the big face on the front, which is just goofy as shit, like this face.
I remember always thinking that the aesthetic of this entire thing reminded me a lot of like Yu-Gi-Oh characters, like monsters and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like,
yeah, I don't have any Yu-Gi-Oh experience, so I can't.
Yeah,
I can't relate
it's
to
like
that.
Yeah, it always like, because the top kind of gives me some like dark magician vibes type shit. If there was like an archdemon type shit, like I think what gives me the Yu-Gi-Oh vibe specifically is the like tendrils of texture that's like on the like boat's face and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's like specifically the texture a lot that really reminds me, and then the like dark purple and golds kind of happening. It just feels pretty Yu-Gi-Oh.
Once you get through all that stuff, including beating up like the tumor, you go back to Ansem again, and he's got his glaive again, and you fight him, and he rolls out a couple new moves, including like sucking you into the center into an explosion.
Yeah, the Guardian in the back can have this move where it takes all of your mana away.
Yeah, it drains your mana unless you beat up the node on it.
Yeah, you hit it in the mouth.
But then once you finish, he kind of explodes, but he's still there in the cutscene.
He's back to normal.
He's back to normal.
He's back to being clothed instead of topless.
You're back in the floating void, and he's like, ugh! And He's like, it is futile. The Keyblade alone cannot seal the door to darkness. Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness. He turns and dramatically like reaches for the door. And as the door opens, he gets blasted with light. It looks like it's going to be darkness as the door opens, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, supreme darkness. But then he gets blasted. And before he gets blasted, Sora goes, you're wrong. I know now, without a doubt. Kingdom Hearts is light. And then just this bright light just blasts through the door. And Ansem's like, what?
Why?
Nani? Lights.
What's funny, in Japanese, he doesn't even say nani. He says naze, which is why.
Oh, well, he doesn't say what in English either. I just assumed. He says but why. So yeah. they were accurate. But he kind of gets just exploded into light and vanishes.
That shit don't make no sense.
No, it don't. Like to this day.
This is like a Satanist being like, I'm opening the door to hell. And then like literally getting cleansed by holy fucking fire. But then there's like demons in there.
Yeah.
It really fuck? Like an overwhelming amount of demons. Like, what the fuck
and
is happening?
I'm sure there's gonna be someone in the comments that's like, no, it makes sense because
there's
A, B,
a
and C,
seal
but like,
of light that was there prime as a dead man's hand. If somebody opened it, they'd win. And
but like to me, like it still doesn't make sense.
They
like,
booby trapped it.
Goofy sees, all the dark sides forming in the realm of darkness. All the heartless,
holy
piles
yuck.
And piles of heartless. They can't do it, but then Riku shows up. Don't give up. Come on, Sora. Together we can do it. And he doesn't question this. He just goes, okay. He's not like, well, wait, you'll get shut in there. They just like, okay. And then in the background, these dark sides start to form up, but they get one shot by
Rinsed.
Michael fucking Mouse himself.
Shirtless, parentheses.
Shirtless Mickey Mouse finally makes an appearance after being talked about the whole game. His dramatic ass is all shiny and filled with light, and he pulls out a Keyblade. Now, Sora, let's close this door for good. Ha! And so this is where Sora questions, like, hey, wait, Mickey and Riku will be trapped in there. And Mickey's like, don't worry, there'll always be a door to the light. And Goofy's like, yo, you can trust this guy. This is my guy, okay? Like, just trust him, okay? And then he says, Donald, Goofy, thank you. Because they fulfilled is what he asked, And it's kind of a heartfelt moment. And then as the door's shutting, Riku says to Sora, take care of her. And then Sora proceeds to do the exact opposite of that.
He lets her float away on a piece of like crumbling dust rock.
Like 30 seconds later to do the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, let me get like when they have like directors or like game devs react to somebody playing their game, like we need Riku to react to that scene and be like, bro, what the fuck did I just say?
I just told you.
This is why I passed the mastery exam and you fucking did it. Spoilers.
Right. Each side with their Keyblade locks the door, Sora and Mickey. And Sora kind of has a flashback to Destiny Islands with Riku because you can tell he's sad that he had to lock his bestie in the realm of darkness. But, that's what happens. And then as this flashback happens, he sees Kairi standing there. Why is she there? Because because Destiny Island's reforming, I guess, but it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Don't think about it.
He runs to her, and we get budget cutscene, and you can see Destiny Island's kind of forming around her, and Kairi, Sora, and they're being separated by the world reforming. And he goes, Kairi, remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you, I promise. And she's like, I know you will. And then right as their hands separate, fucking Simple and Clean starts playing. And it's very like...
It's serotonin
just
inducing.
Hits you. Oh, absolutely. It just hits you. You know what I mean? Like in a way that only this game can do it. And he kind of they kind of drop this, but like he looks like he's like mouthing "I love you" to her or something along those lines, as he gets pulled away. But they never really revisit that. But I remember that was something that like when this game was the only game out that people were talking about in like internet forums and stuff. Like,
it's the headcanon.
what did Sora say to her? It does this cool thing where like all these little sparkles are falling down and it's helping reform the world, and it's almost like glowing snowfall, and it's just Destiny Island kind of like reforms behind her with the trees popping up, and it's a really well done effect. It looks really awesome because these worlds are kind of like dioramas in the first place, Yeah, and it kind of pops up as a diorama. And then this is where he's like, Kyrie. And he looks around and he starts to say something, but then he like fades into the mist. And that was like a big thing back in the day. Like, what did he say? I think he said, I love you. And I think he said this, and that was like the big thing, right? Before there were any other games out. And I don't think they ever, like, there's never any like, this is what Sora actually said. Like they don't, it was like some kind of like, not a cliffhanger, but some kind of like untied loose end that they never address because what does it matter at the end of the day, right?
Right.
He didn't say anything that important. And then all the stars go up into the sky as all the worlds are reforming, and Destiny Island's back and it's beautiful and the birds are flying. And Kyrie walks around, what do you do after both of your only friends where you live have disappeared? And so she goes into the secret place. And this is where she sees that Sora drew the Papu fruit. Him giving her the Papu fruit on their drawing they had done together earlier. And she, starts to cry. And as the song swells and she draws it in herself, clearly they show. And then we cut to credits. And all while Simple and Clean plays. And
Cinema.
It's a very... Yeah, cinema, I was going to say, a very effective ending. It doesn't try to over-explain anything, or it doesn't have a ton of, this game was originally planned as a standalone thing, and so it doesn't have a ton of things to tie up, but it still wants you wanting more, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always a big fan of when credits show scenes from the game. And they do that just like kind of stills of different moments of the game.
Well, then it has the little videos of like,
right,
what happens after kind of thing, mid like little cutscenes, mid credits.
Yeah, they do kind of like a wrap up of the worlds while I believe this is March Caprice playing, and it shows the Final Fantasy crew back in Hollow Bastion and Cloud seeing Aerith. Oh my god.
Okay. So like, the idea is like, okay, all these worlds are being restored. People who were like, not in the world that they were supposed to be are back where they were supposed to be. Like a bell, yeah. And stuff like that. Cloud being back in Hollow Bastion because apparently that's where all Final Fantasy characters are from, canon. But like, you're telling me that the one speck of like dust, darkness, rock, dust that Kyrie's standing on was just like, that's the part of Destiny Island? Because like, if you think about it, it's like, well, if the worlds like know like who is supposed to be there, like they have their own like world order, shouldn't Kyrie be going back to fucking Hollow Bastion? Because it's
very
like,
true.
One, how the fuck did she get here? She was in fucking Traverse Town. Even if you're like, oh, okay, the Traverse Town gang, they took a gummy ship and brought her to Hollow Bastion. Well, then shouldn't she go back to Hollow Bastion like ×2? Like,
yeah.
Both being from there, world order wise, and then also like just literally having just come from there. If that's how she got there,
maybe it just knows what her new home is. Right?
It doesn't really make a lot of sense here.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's some stuff that doesn't make sense, but because it's like you want it to be a satisfying fit. Like they just go, it's fine.
Yeah. It's like if you look into it, you kind of take the magic away, where you're like, okay, it doesn't. You don't actually have to look into it that deep. But it was definitely something where I was like, wait a second, should she just be returned back to Hollow Bastion? Because I had also thought, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, Kairi, you know, in the context of Destiny Islands and not getting too much into, like, way later, like, Melody of Memory cutscenes, but it's like, this girl comes from, like, the big city type shit to your small island area, and it's fucking paradise. And, like, for whatever reason, knowing that there's other places makes you want to go there and leave this paradise. And like, she like basically comes there and like makes them not satisfied with the paradise that they live in, and so they need to leave on this raft. And then also like challenges their friendship because they're both like, yo, I'm trying to share the papu fruit with Kairi. Like, she really throws a wrench in these two homies' lives, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of fucked up, bro.
Once the credits are done, we get kind of the after credits scene where it's Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Donald and Goofy are back in their like OG Disney canon fits.
Yeah.
Not the Kingdom Hearts ass night fits. And they're walking down this path of this luscious green field. Don't really know where they are, where they're supposed to be. And they're talking about what they got to do next. And we got to find Riku and King Mickey. And they're like, well, where do we start looking even? Like that. And they kind of are already frustrated. And they all go, ah. But then right as on cue, motherfucking Pluto shows up. And Donald even goes, wait a minute, Pluto, where have you been? Right? And he has a letter with the king's seal on it. And so they start chasing him.
Like, what's in your mouth?
And
what's in your mouth?
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
You're a grown-ass man. We know you can talk. Stop running on all fours.
Drop it. And it does this cool sweeping shot of the path they're on is so long as they chase Pluto, and it goes up in the sky and it says, remember, Sora, you are the one who will open the door to the light.
I thought we already did that.
Wait a minute. Again?
We just closed
it again.
We just got separated from our friend.
I already opened the door to the light.
It literally killed this being of darkness.
Yeah, it was the door to the light.
This archdemon.
Yeah, we already did it. We already did it. So anyway, if you didn't meet the criteria, that is where this ends, and it gives you a nice the end screen. If you beat the game on Proud, you get the secret ending. If you beat the game on Standard and complete a bunch of criteria, like finding all the Dalmatians and the Ansem reports and Jiminy's journal and all that shit, you get it. And if you're on beginner, you cannot get the secret ending.
They said get good. Or open up
they said get
YouTube.
Good. We did not get good. We opened up YouTube. There's actually two of these movies. And the first one came with Kingdom Hearts 1, Vanilla. And it's called Another Side, Another Story. And then the second one came with Final Mix, Another Side, Another Story, Deep Dive. And I want to talk about Another Side, Another Story first.
Okay. This is the type of shit that turned, unbeknownst preteen, tweens, and teens into motherfucking weebs, bruh. Like, this shit.
100%.
This shit was like, yo, you ever heard of this shit called anime bullshit?
Like,
you do now.
I'll tell you. My own, like,
and you like it.
I was very
it's fucking
likely
gas.
Into watching like DBZ after school on Toonami, right? But other than that, I was not anime pilled by any stretch of the imagination, other than maybe like I liked Final Fantasy, right? But those weren't really they're Japanese in nature, right? But I wouldn't say that, especially at this point, that they were super anime.
Yeah, especially like
right?
the reference of like where like Western, like American culture was, right? It's like,
right. like up until 10, Final Fantasy was mostly like, hey, this is our take on Tolkien, right? Like it's not. Yeah, I guess not. That's not true because 7 and 8 weren't that, but like all the other ones were like, this is like fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
And not
like high
really
fantasy.
like anime fantasy. Yeah. You know, like I guess 7 kind of punches into that. And so does 8 a little bit, I guess. So my point's a little moot. But that was the only kind of things I liked. This pushed me full, like Another Side, Another Story, I think about still to this day.
Yeah.
And on watching it again for this, I was surprised, you know, because when you think about your memory of it, I had mixed in Deep Dive a little bit in my memory, right?
Well, and also like the cutscenes later that kind of flesh it out a little bit too.
Right. What was crazy is back then, YouTube wasn't. If YouTube existed back then, it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah, yeah.
And you couldn't just go watch this whenever you wanted.
No.
You had to beat Ansem, the whole thing again, to watch this again. And I'll tell you, I did that multiple times just to watch this because I was so into the aesthetic of this and what happens. I still, when it's dark out and it's raining, I still reference it as Kingdom Hearts rain.
Where it's like there's rain on the ground, but it's not necessarily really raining anymore. But like all the traffic lights are like glistening off of.
I mean, it is raining during this
ground.
whole scene, but yeah. This is the first time you see if you're especially if you're just playing if you're just playing vanilla KH that you see Neo shadows.
Yeah.
It's the first time you see Roxas, or as he was called back then, BHK, blonde hair kid. He's in what we figure out later is the world that never was, and he gets surrounded by Neo shadows, and then it pans up to the memory skyscraper, and you see what we now know is Riku. It's pretty obvious it was Riku back then even, and he has a blindfold on.
Yeah.
And BHK pulls out 2 keyblades, like, Oblivion and Oathkeeper. And you're like, you can do that? And then Riku looks at the sky, and the sky parts, and you see all these like comets. And then this like what you presume is a heartless symbol, but you can just see the top half of it surrounds BHK on the ground. And Riku throws his blindfold to the sky, and then BHK goes, "Where's Sora?" And then it shows the text on the screen. And then it starts showing in kanji and just in English a bunch of different terms just flying at the screen.
Yeah.
It's too much to even like parse.
You have to like freeze frame and really look at it. Yeah.
It focuses at the end on one that says "We'll go together," and then boom on the screen, Kingdom Hearts. And then as a last little teaser, it shows a what you would presume is Kairi on the beach, looking a lot older, and
Long
there's
hair.
a comet in the sky falling. And that's it. That's fucking it. But that was enough to just be like, holy shit, dude. What?
The next
what
game is
this?
going to be just this. It's going to be a lot
The
of
next
this.
game is going to be so good.
And they were right about it being good. Not about it being just that. But
just an incredible look at what the future was going to bring in. And just even though we talked about like, hey, this game gets a little dark towards the end with Ansem and all that stuff, still such a tonal shift.
Yeah.
Right? To something that's a lot more dark and a lot more mature and a lot more
like people try to water it down just saying it's edgy to be edgy, but I don't even really think it's just more just like dark, right? Like
right.
It's definitely a lot more.
I don't think there's anything you could maybe say like, you know, him wearing like the cloak and then like Riku having like the blindfold on is like edgy, I guess. But like, I don't think there's anything like, it's not trying too hard.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's what the way Nomura styles his characters, like it's just embodying that. It's just embodying like how he designs things and the things that we like about it, right?
One thing that immediately struck me is just like, wow, like especially in the context of how long ago this was, and then like how long it took for the next game. Like it didn't take a super long time, but the fact that there was no change in how the org cloaks like looked over that long of a period, like bro was just like, yeah, I nailed this first time, like design wise, right? It's just like, yep, this shit is goated. Don't change these cloaks. These cloaks are gas. Like, it's really fucking cool. It's really good. And the fact that like this type of movie like became like very like meta almost like for Final Fantasy and Square Enix properties, where it's like even up until like Final Fantasy 15 and like with like Versus 13, it's like similar things that like, and obviously those are both like Versus 13 was like made by Nomura as well, but it's like it just hit that good that even like 20 years later, it's like, yeah, we're making the same type of shit because it's still fucking good, baby.
Right. Well, and they do it with Kingdom Hearts 2, and that's great. And they're even doing it they did it with Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And just these tone pieces that set the level for the next game, and it needed this because, like I said, they kind of wrap things up for the most part with Kingdom Hearts 1, except, hey, we got to find Riku and Mickey, right? But there's not a ton of questions that are super unanswered, and then this thing just blows it wide open with like all the questions, right? And then especially when you look at Another Side, Another Story Deep Dive, which is much longer.
Yeah.
It has elements of Another Side, Another Story, but it opens up with Sora kind of standing at the crossroads that we saw him down in Goofy at night, which is important imagery to Chain of Memories. And then we get a message in a bottle on a beach, on a dark beach, and a person in a cloak teleports out of a rock and walks forward.
Dude, that motherfucker, like, I know it's like presumably Roxas. That looked like a motherfucking skinwalker, bro. Like that is the only thing in either of these cutscenes that kind of stands out as old to me, where like everything else looks so fucking amazing and like really just still holds up so well. Whether it's like the cinematography, like how they chose to like shoot it, or literally like the actual animation and everything like that. Like, that's the only thing that really stands out to me as like, ooh, yeah, they didn't know what they were doing here, but they needed to kind of send it or they wanted to invoke like, because it's like he has like golden ass eyes too. Like you see his eyes like glowing in the darkness of the cloak. And it's like, that's like really cool, like emotional, like evoking imagery for sure. But it definitely stands out as being like, yo, who this skinwalker, bro? Get this shit out of here, bro. Like, the motherfucker gonna start talking like my grandma. Like, what? Get this shit away from me, bro. This is a fucking horror mod from fucking Repo or some shit, bro. Like some friend slop game. That motherfucker's gonna teleport to me and snap my neck.
Bro's from fucking Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
You cut back to the scene from the first one where it's BHK and he starts fighting the Neo Shadows and does like a lot of really stylish, cool shit to fight them that you don't see in Kingdom Hearts 1, including like he jumps in the air and like 5 of them jump with him and he's like taking them out one by one. And then he throws one of his Keyblades and it cuts through 4 of them and he catches it on the way down. And then he backflips towards the tower. And this is where it's different, but like there's just hundreds of Heartless at the base of the tower. And he looks up at the tower and there's Riku again. And it does flash a bunch of different like words and on this that we're not going to go over, but as Riku doesn't throw his blindfold this time, but then BHK starts running up the tower, the Heartless chasing him. Riku jumps off the tower,
just dive bombs,
and BHK throws a Keyblade, and he catches it on his way down, and they kind of do like a face-to-face, like slow-mo, like look at each other thing as they pass like the big screen, and it's so fucking cool. while this is happening, it starts flashing a countdown from 13 in Roman numerals, which obviously has is something important for later. And sometimes they're Roman numerals and sometimes they're not, which is a little interesting. But it keeps intercutting shots of Sora, Kairi, and Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1. It shows the beach and the Skinwalker approaching another hooded figure. And it's just like flashing things so fast that I couldn't even possibly keep up with what's going on. But it ends again with "We'll go together." But it does like a side-by-side of the Skinwalker, Riku, blonde hair kid, and then the other person who's sitting on the rock that the Skinwalker's approaching. And then it says 2, and then it shows Mickey fucking Mouse going full prequel Yoda mode, flipping onto the scene with a keyblade and a hood that his ears fit into. And it just goes, Kingdom Hearts. And it's like, what? And then it says on the screen, I went to see him. He looks just like you. And it's the beach scene with the Skinwalker and the guy sitting on the beach. And we know who this is now, but at the time you don't know. And then it shows Sora floating, sleeping over a vast dark cloud ocean. And then it says, everything is coming back to me, the true. And that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that one, while it's a more fleshed out, I don't have as fond of memories of that one because I don't think I really saw it until later because Final Mix didn't release in the US, right? And I think I eventually watched it on YouTube before Final Mix released in the US, and then I didn't play Final Mix till later, till long after Kingdom Hearts 2 was out, right? So I was going into the hype for Kingdom Hearts 2 because I didn't play Chain of Memories either before Kingdom Hearts 2. So my hype for Kingdom Hearts 2 was solely based on that first Another Side, Another Story, which is really cool. But the deep dive is clearly the like cooler, more fleshed out secret movie. I just didn't have access to it, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this, like, I don't know that anybody's ever really broken down everything in that trailer. Like I looked on YouTube to see like, hey, did anybody like stop every frame and look at all the words and all the kanji on the screen and go, what is all of this?
What's really funny is I was kind of doing that a little bit here and there while you were like talking about it. And the whole term like capital N nobody that we'll get into, it's really funny that like it's like a funny language barrier thing where in Japanese they say nobody in English. So like they're speaking Japanese, nobody, blah 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 blah. So it's like clearly a proper noun for them, whereas like, oh, like what is a nobody or whatever in English is kind of like you kind of gotta really nail it and really hammer it home that it's like, yo, capital N nobody. Whereas in Japanese, they literally didn't have that problem at all because they just said nobody in English each time they're talking about one. But one thing that's like cool, it's like they're like the third enemy, nobody. Who is nobody, you ask? They are non-existent. But in Japanese, it's basically like the third enemy equals nobody, question mark, and then like nobody, and then it's like he who does not exist is kind of more what it says rather than they are non-existent, because they say it, they don't say like they do not exist, they say like who doesn't exist, he kind of thing. It's like he who does not exist kind of thing, which it's like a little bit more not like poetic, but like artsy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me that because I always had thought so what you're saying, just to clarify, when you're watching this, is there a version where it's all in Japanese?
I mean, I'm looking at it says in parentheses English, but it still shows in Japanese over, like it will show both lines. So it's like the Japanese version, and then underneath in English.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it will say the same thing, just one's in Japanese and one's in English.
Yeah, they're saying the same thing. It's just like a translation, right? But like for that specifically, it's like the translation, like it's a little bit different. But I guess I never knew because I've never watched any cutscenes in Japanese. They just straight up say nobody in English.
Well, I wonder if like,
nobody.
If you watched the Japanese version of Another Side, Another Story Deep Dive, like from that game,
it probably still has English. They do that a lot.
I think it probably still has the English. That's what I would think too. Because otherwise, it's just going to be the same thing twice on the screen, right?
I mean, they might.
Like I have this shot right now where it says "The Secret Place." His voice, it's left me. This time I'll fight, and then right above it, it has the Japanese, and so I'm assuming they're saying the same thing. So,
yeah, like the meaning is the same for sure every time. Yeah. As far as I understand, unless
here's one that's
is
interesting
lying,
that I just paused on. It says it has a 7 in the background, and it says "endless" in English, and then it has the Japanese, and then right below it says "endless" in English. What took you so long, Kyrie? Can we do it against that? And it's like, it's funny that it says "endless" in English in both.
Yeah, it doesn't in the Japanese version. It just says it once. There's not like a second line underneath.
I see. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, where it says "Where's Sora," it does that. That's weird. It says it in English.
Oh,
and then okay, so like there will be some English, but underneath the Japanese parts, there is not a translation because obviously it's not needed. So like when there's a ton of shit coming out on screen at you like a billion times, some of it is actually in English. So like when people played this in fucking Japan, they're like, "Yo, what does half of this mean?" So like they had like a similar type of vibe, I guess.
Right. They just made it for everybody. One for everybody.
One for all. Well, I guess it's like a slightly different. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, these hidden movies have been secret movies have kind of been a staple of Kingdom Hearts and a big part of why we love them so much. When I think of Kingdom Hearts 1, Another Side, Another Story is what I think of, because that's the thing that in my teenage years had the biggest effect on me from this game. And just the promise of what was to come, and just how cool it all was. But yeah. All right. Well, we kind of covered everything. We didn't I didn't really do any endgame content. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't really want to fight Kurt Z's or the Phantom, or I might fight Unknown just because that's the only one that has like heavy lore implications. And when in that quote in this movie where he says, "I've been to see him, he looks just like you," that's, Unknown talking, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I might do that, but I probably won't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably won't because he sucks.
I'll think about it. I'm KH1'd out, I've played KH1 5 trillion times, and for me, I think I've just kind of run the well dry as far as my nostalgia goggles for it. Like I can still remember how I felt and still remember what it was like, and if I really try to think about it as like far as like what my first impressions were kind of thing, those memories are still really good. But for me, it's just like right now, like there are times where I'm just like rolling my eyes playing the game sometimes, where it's just like, okay, bro, like so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll like just grind the Rock Titan a million times so I can get max level, and then maybe try Unknown or some shit. I don't know. We'll see. I like the Kurt Ziza fight. I think the Kurt Ziza fight holds up really well. I'm not as much of a fan of like Phantom is fucking cringe. It's just a fucking mana bar. Like, can you equip all your magic items and then oh, it's red, cast fire. Oh, it's blue, cast blizzard. Like I'm good. I'm good on Phantom.
Yeah. I think it's cool they added that stuff for Final
Right.
Mix, and I think it's a net positive, but you know, they all have similar problems for the most part to like what we have with most bosses in the game. It's like these bosses are designed on aesthetic and aura, and not necessarily on gameplay, right? And they nail those first two things, but sometimes the gameplay suffers for it.
Yeah, like Sephiroth,
Yeah.
cool fight as far as like aesthetic and just like it just was well done. It was really hard and like comparatively like it's like feels a little bit like the amount of tools you have. Like if Strike Raid didn't exist, like this fight's fucking crazy. But then like Ice Titan, fucking hell, bro, I'm good. Like I'ma just think about the secret endings and how this shit was hella badass, and I'ma just hold on to that feeling rather than than get into the fucking weeds of the fucking the end game, which it's like, you know, one of my day one homies, Carson, shout out Carson, he definitely is never gonna hear this, but like he beat Kingdom Hearts 1 recently for the first time, and he's just altogether not interested in the end game at all. He's like, I liked what I did, but I'm like, it's like I'm torn because I'm like, I want to push him to do the end game because it's definitely a huge part of what Kingdom Hearts turns into, but it's also not a great like like obviously if I had him fight like Kurt Ziza, I think that would be like the number one, or like Unknown, like have him go fight either of those and be like, yeah, this is the type of shit that you could like look for later, where it's like these nice, well-designed fights where it is very difficult and like on purpose kind of thing. Whereas, and in a fair feeling way as well. Like,
right.
The fights are designed in such a way that it's not just like a battle of attrition with your mana bar or like you'll beat on the giant freaking thing a million times kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely hard. Like whenever you have anybody playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 and you're like, at least specifically for me, I'm like, yeah, you just gotta, like, I'm just sitting there hoping like, yo, you just gotta make it to Kingdom Hearts 2 and then you're hooked for life, bro. Like you just gotta make it. You just gotta make it to Kingdom Hearts 2. And it's
well,
like,
I think to even expound on what you're saying, I think you can't just make it to Kingdom Hearts 2, right? You have to beat Kingdom Hearts 1 and then make it to Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
right.
Like I don't think you could just play Kingdom Hearts 2 and get hooked in the same way. Like it has,
that's what I mean. It's like you gotta like, it's like you're running with like a huge weight vest on and you don't even know. And then they're like, yo, bro, why are you running with this weight vest on? Let me take this shit off. And then you're like, holy shit, I'm the GOAT. Like, life is so much easier without this friggin' weight vest. Like,
yeah.
I think it's a thing where, at least for me personally, like I had told him like, oh yeah, you gotta play the end game, bro. It's such a huge part of it or whatever. But now I'm not even going to tell him to do that until / if he gets to Kingdom Hearts 2, because then I'm gonna be like, bro, if you're not gonna play post game KH2, just put the series down, bro. Just straight up put it down. Yeah. Like I'm gonna push really hard on post game KH2, and then if it's like, okay, neuron activated, then he can always go back. Like that's the thing. It's like, obviously KH1 is not as good, but you can still, as your first time ever seeing it, still enjoy it. I think maybe you might get triggered at Phantom or something, but like it's definitely the first time. I think is really, really cool for those fights, especially at least like when they're spawning in and shit. Like we said, like the aesthetics and like you're like, yo, you're telling me the clock ran out and Peter Pan is just gone? Like his icon is just gone? Like that type of shit is really fucking cool. the intro and like entrance for Kurziza, like fighting out in the sand for the first and only time, just like out in the middle of fucking nowhere type of feeling, which kind of almost like is like reminiscent of like maybe like a Final Fantasy VII, where it's like there's like the red thorn type shit where you're like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? And it's like, yo, it's a motherfucking super boss, bitch. And so
yeah,
it's
the
like,
ruby weapon.
Yeah. So it's like that type of stuff. First time, definitely super cool. Not really as into the fights as far as like in the context of the KH1 combat system personally.
We're going to take a short break, Jay, and then we're going to come back with the question of the week where we've asked everybody to review Kingdom Hearts 1 now that we're finished with it for the book club. So we will be right back.
This is Richard Epcar. Welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. Come to the darkness.
Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. Jason, it's time for the question of the week. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I bet that was timed exactly with the oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna leave it as it is, and you guys will know if it was timed with it or not. This week's question of the week. Give us your honest review of Kingdom Hearts 1 for this playthrough. Here's the format: a rating out of 10 stars, 3 positives, and 3 negatives. So up first, Jay, is Pokemon Trainer Jay. They give it a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay.
They put no positives. And for the negatives, they put too much water.
Okay.
And then said, we'll do a real one later, maybe. Okay, well, thank you, Pokemon.
7.8. Dude, 6.7 was right there. Come on now.
I know, dude. That's a bit embarrassing.
Oh my god, if you're gonna meme it, you gotta at least meme it right. Come on now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Folsey gives it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Positives: no need to use a finishing move to beat a boss. It's just kill the boss. Ooh, throwing some early KH2 shade out there.
Yo, it's actually kind of goated.
Very solid opening to a series overall. You can tell why they wanted this to be a long-lasting project and a continuous one with the story and some of the worlds, and it succeeds. And Sora's growth from start to finish is a key positive, where he goes from overwhelmed to confident. Negatives: combat system was clunky at times. Platforming does not at all work with the camera. And lock-on is not the greatest and tends to be mistake-prone. I think that's all.
I think that was a fucking fire take from Folsey, bro. Fire.
That's
straight
all fair.
Super hot fire.
GG's Folsey. Wildcat Diana says 7.0 out of 10. Positives: story, Disney goth feel that I don't think the other games ever did as well, even KH2 and 3. And characters, they all match very well together, even among the Disney villain collab. Negatives: Sora is heavy when he jumps. Maps where you easily get lost. And some parts of the menu, I feel, are the worst in the series. Okay. Now the item stock stuff is pretty bad. That's a good call out.
Yeah, no, that's actually based as hell. That's so true. And then also like your shortcuts doesn't have anything for circle. Come on, bro.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
Come on, bro. Where I'm supposed to put gravity.
Sean's gives it an 8 and says the positives are the Colosseum, the art style and representation to source materials, and the music. Negatives are dated controls, no new game plus, and mixed feelings about the final mix recolors.
True.
A lot of people mad about the recolors. A lot of people mad. DP Grant gives it an 8.5 out of 10. Positives: simple and clean story with well-balanced character development throughout the worlds. I see what they did there. World design that rewards revisits after gaining new abilities, access to different color trinity limits, etc. And I think KH, when including another side from the secret ending, has the best music in the whole series. That is a really good song.
Damn, Kingdom Hearts
incredible
1 best music in the series? That's a that's like a crazy mic drop to add at the end. What the fuck? I don't know if I don't know if I agree. I'd have to think about it.
I don't know. That's something I think once we revisit all the games, I'll be able to have more clarity on. But I do think Kingdom Hearts 1 is really good.
It is really good.
It's a strong contender.
Yeah.
It's a strong contender. There's not a lot of fluff. It's all just kind of, battle theme, field theme, battle theme, field theme, and they're all pretty good. Negatives. Some truly dog shit bosses. Inconsistent animation, way too many pancake faces in important scenes.
True.
How could they do the Lucky Charm scene in the sewer like that? And third, no Pete. Is that a positive or a negative? I don't know if that's
I don't know. Yeah, that's a...
Not trying to bait egg of dog here, but is that a negative?
That's actually true. Definitely a lot of scenes where it feels super weird to cut back and forth from pancake face to budget. That I think that's
what we're calling it now,
need.
pancake face.
Yeah, man, I kind of like that.
Captain Bacon, 13 out of 10 stars. This is without a doubt my favorite game of all time. Every playthrough makes me love it more. Positives: amazing world design, tight combat. It has one of the best boss fights in gaming. Negatives: grinding Ultima is unfun in Final Mix. A lot of the Final Mix recolors are objectively worse, and some bosses are kind of tedious. I don't think Captain Bacon played the same game we played.
I'm feeling this response is a giant hunk of cheese, maybe cheddar cheese, and then as I'm looking at the cheese and I'm that looks really good, give me that. But then I'm wait, this plate looks kind of weird, and I realize that the plate is on a giant, massive wooden board that is precariously propped up by this tiniest little metal prong. And then if I pick up this cheese, it's gonna fucking pop down on me and fucking mousetrap my ass, bro. This is rage bait.
Okay, I actually have a theory here that I'm putting together. You know how sometimes athletes get caught with alt Twitter accounts and they argue with people on Twitter?
Yeah.
It'll be oh, he was a terrible pass rusher, and then the guy goes, no, you just don't know because, you know what I mean? They just and it's revealed that it was an alt account of that athlete.
Yeah.
What if Captain Bacon is an alt regular Pat account?
I thought you were gonna say an alt egg of dog, but that makes more sense.
Because I think that this is regular Pat. I think Captain Bacon might be regular Pat. And I think because there was one time I posted that we were going to stream, and Captain Bacon's response was, but regular Pat's going to stream.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, who would even say that if not for regular Pat?
Exactly, dude. I think that Captain Bacon might be a regular Pat alt.
How did he know regular Pat was going to stream then, huh? How did he know?
Have you ever seen Captain Bacon and regular Pat in the same room?
No, I've never seen them.
I haven't. They got to be the same person. Retired Guardian says 8.5 out of 10. Not thinking too critically about that number, but it feels right as a good answer. Positives: it has something for everyone. A pretty young kid could beat the story but have some intense challenge along the way. Meanwhile, a more experienced gamer that has no trouble with the story bosses can still struggle with Unknown and Sephiroth. 2. Goofy. A true friend to our protagonist, a delightful vocal performance, a valuable source of humor, and a key piece of Disney/childhood nostalgia. And then 3, people have already said this, but yeah, the music deserves all the praise. Negatives: Keyblade progression is rough compared to later games. They're really spaced out weirdly, and some are, sadly, completely useless by the time you get them. I'm looking at you, Final Mix Oblivion.
Yeah. Some
bumpy voice acting from the supporting cast. And trying to navigate Monstro as a kid, I get it now. I know how it works. I'm still not over it. That's fair. That's fair, Retired Guardian. Thank you. Chetzale says 8 out of 10. 3 positives. The best game of the franchise of how it rewards exploration and repeating visits, making it the most replayable Kingdom Hearts game for me. Really good ambiance and very interesting secret bosses. 3 negatives. Worlds don't really make the most out of the Disney integration. Mainly underwhelming bosses in the main story. Some info the game doesn't tell you, like the order you get skills based on your choices at the beginning, can be frustrating at later levels.
True.
Energy Ska, 9 out of 10. Trying to base it on this run through and no nostalgic ties. I've loved the pacing of the book club. Not being able to proceed and power through made me grind in the worlds available and enjoy them a lot more. Also, Final Mix looks clean and holds up well, minus the blank faces in certain cutscenes. 3 positives. Story is engaging with the majority of the main cast being likable. The concept of Disney, Final Fantasy, and KH's identity is crazy, but it works so smoothly. Ansem SOD is an awesome enemy. When he takes over Riku finally, he looks awesome and his dialogue is epic. And then we see his actual form and he just delivers. Big up to Billy Zane. And 3, it's fun to play, how all games should be. The transition from aerial to ground combat just makes hitting Heartless endlessly entertaining. It doesn't get boring, and despite multiple run-throughs, I'm always enjoying it. 3 negatives. Some of the camera angles are sus, but it could have been worse. Games like Mario Sunshine come to mind. Atlantica-type mechanics. Flying battles, swimming, anything that removes these awesome abilities you've learned and switches it up for moving up and down with square and circle. I said the game was fun. This was not fun. And 3, too many pedophiles. Who in the office thought that having Jiminy Cricket as part of the main team was a good idea? Though I do love his journals, but they could have been anyone's. And then there's Peter Pan. I'm going to let you guys cook with your thoughts on him.
Exactly, dude. Wait, what did they give?
9 out of 10.
You gave this a 9 out of 10, and the last point you made was too many pedophiles? 9 out of 10? I don't know. You might have to go back to the drawing board here.
One has to ask themselves the question, how many pedophiles is too many pedophiles?
What's the quota? Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I love that Energy Scott gave this really thought out, nice answer and then ended it with too many pedophiles.
Yeah. Classic.
Classic Ansem Report podcast nonsense. Oh my. Killa, who's new to the Discord, I believe. Hello, Killa. Welcome. Says 9 out of 10. Positives. Some of the simplest yet amazing storytelling of any KH game.
Just the right amount of pedophiles. Not just the intrusive thought immediately got.
Maybe I'm gonna start his over. Some of the simplest yet amazing storytelling of any KH game. Maybe a tad nostalgic bias, but even on the replay, I can say the same. Riku was edgelord of the century in this one. Always made me want that sick keyblade of his.
True.
Hollow Bastion. Nuff said.
Yep.
Negatives. Yep. Simplicity of the combat worked when I was a kid, but after a revisit, it was honestly very lackluster.
Yeah.
As many others have said, the mechanics of some of the boss fights were horrendous. While many of the fights were fun and well crafted, too many were just awful mechanics. I'm still fucking laughing about the pedophiles thing. God damn it. Because I keep picturing like his last answer being just the right amount of pedophiles. Last but not least, the camera angles and overall size of certain battle areas made me so infuriated during this replay, especially after playing KH2 and 3 semi-recently. Agreed. Please, nobody else say anything about pedophiles. I'm not going to be able to handle it.
We won't make it.
I just know
that's one of those moments in the podcast where it's like, I just know somebody's at work listening type shit. And they just are trying so hard not to laugh at that shit.
Right.
They're like, people at work are giving them fucking sus-ass side eyes right now. And if they had to explain why they were laughing, they would not be able to handle it.
They would not be able to. NGC gives it a 9 out of 10. Positives. Excellent atmosphere / music in most worlds, especially Traverse Town and Hollow Bastion. True. Best integration of Disney and Final Fantasy of any game, delivers on that initial premise. Almost all gameplay content is engaging, nothing too repetitive like in later games. By the time I've done all the side content, synthesis, optional fights, exploration, reach level 100, etc., it feels like a complete experience where all things feed back into a concise whole. The exception is gummy content, but that can be mostly ignored if disliked. I agree with that, actually. I think that this game does a good job of the JRPG promise of having everything you do kind of feed together, with the exception of the gummy stuff.
You know, this is something that me and Fabio were talking about recently, where I think as far as like, you know, going for all achievements or the platinum trophy or whatever, right? I feel like it's actually very rare, at least in my experience, that like a platinum trophy is just like really good, where it's like it doesn't just automatically complete itself, but like you're able to do more and interact with more than you would have. Like I think like one of the few platinum trophies where I think it was just like really good, really solid is like God of War, or like God of War Ragnarok, where it's like it doesn't feel like there was way too much that had to be done. There's not anything where it's like a super infuriating one or just like annoying, or like it feels like it's like a time padding one where it's like, yeah, just play through it again like this. And for me, Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't really, like, I think it's like it's an okay platinum, especially if you're like looking at like the PS4/PS5. PS3 is fucking awful, but like
PS3 is bad.
The platinum for PS4, PS5, or like if you're on like Steam or whatever, or Epic Games, like those achievements are fine. But I would say for the most part, yeah, when you smell all the roses in, I think Kingdom Hearts specific, like as a whole, most of the platinum trophies are pretty fucking good. Like,
yeah.
Outside of like maybe like when you're doing your third run around on BBS, or like
yeah
you're, because like first time you're learning everything, second time, okay, yeah, now I'm doing it faster, and then like the third time you're like, bruh, like I hate a mysterious figure or whatever, right? And I think like mainline, like KH1, KH2, KH3, their platinums are pretty fucking solid, especially when we've been like platinuming other games on stream, like if it's like something like a dragon, which we haven't even finished because it's pretty CBT, or like Jack or whatever. It's like, I think KH does a good job at, you don't feel like you're losing your mind really when doing it,
yeah.
But it's the right amount of grind usually, where you feel pretty good
typically,
at. Yeah. By the end of it, you feel pretty fulfilled.
To get to NGC's negatives, vital abilities such as guard and scan being potentially unavailable for well into the game.
True.
Wonderland, why do the forest and Queen's Castle look like the inside of a shoebox? Bizarre room is annoying. Huge miss. The gummy ship has actually grown on me, but actually building things is incredibly obtuse. I still almost delete the entire ship when I just want to replace one part, even after decades of playing. Gavin Dotson gives it an 8 out of 10 and says, kind of a loaded positive, but it has to get points for being the first to do it. Really good at using the world environments and gameplay to tie each world to the respective movies. Like Wonderland catches a lot of heat for being a little confusing with backtracking, but considering their goal was to implement systems in the world and gameplay that made sense specifically for Alice in Wonderland, they crushed it, in my opinion. And overall atmosphere and music, the vibes are peak and the music is still in my head 20 years after its release. Absolutely timeless aesthetic, so good. For negatives, it's hard to judge the game by itself considering I played the whole series, so I'll just say the game feels very slow after playing later titles. Combat isn't bad, but actual mobility / traversal is a little slow. Wannabe Star Fox-ass gummy ship.
True.
And story pacing. Sometimes it feels way too long to get to the next important story beat outside of Disney Worlds. Likewise, some really important moments feel like they're wrapped up too quickly, i.e. when Donald and Goofy leave Sora.
Or riddled with pancake face.
Pancake face. Speaking of pancake face, Jip is up next. He gives it a 7.3 out of 10. Positives. Jip is like the pancake face guy, I'm gonna say. He has the pancake face.
Yeah.
Positives. The vibe and scale of this game is never matched again. I cannot explain it well, but I feel like the idea of worlds just straight up disappearing gives everything that happens in this game so much weight. The music is top tier. I think this might just be the best music in the series. Songs like Traverse Town, Hand in Hand, Welcome to Neverland, Go For It, Neverland Sky, Hollow Bastion are literally all top tier tracks for me. Okay, I want to point this out. I bullied Jip into not saying A Very Small Wish. I bullied Jip into not saying A Very Small Wish because he knew I would say, oh, he watched a YouTuber one time and took his opinion. And then his third one, struggling to find a third nice thing to say, LMAO, I will go with the Disney integration, specifically with the Disney Castle. Maleficent is such a joke of a character after this game. Negatives.
She kind of
going into this playthrough, I was so excited because I remembered bosses like Captain Hook, Riku Ansem, or the Crater Ansem and Guardian fight so fondly, but holy crap, there are some stinkers. Cave of Wonders, Trickmaster, Rock Titan, Anti-Sora, just to name a few. The synthesis grind is way too long. It took me probably 10 hours of grinding to get the ultimate weapon. Shout out to KH Guides. Last time it took me even longer because I don't think the website existed, or maybe I just wasn't aware of it. And the fucking camera. Almost went with Gummy here, but I cannot stand having to make hard jumps or have fights in tiny rooms, Anti-Sora for example, where the camera just absolutely cucks me. Honorable mention to the game just not telling you where to go. Fuck the dolphin specifically.
True.
Thank you, Pancake Face Chip. Appreciate it. Speaking of cheese on a board right there, I'm just laying it down for Jip to be what. I can see him just putting question marks in the chat.
Dude, when
right
Jip
now.
does pancake face, for whatever reason, it makes me think of the scene from The Office where Dwight cuts the face off the mannequin. And that's the kind of pancake face I'm imagining with Jip right now. I don't know why.
Yeah, Jip's got fake pancake face.
But he cut a hole in a literal pancake, not a mannequin.
Yeah, and put it on his face.
Yeah.
SB Cat says 9 out of 10. This game holds such a special place in my heart, and I genuinely think it holds up fantastically well. Positives. Vibe. It just captures that overall early Disney Renaissance energy and the wonder that can come with a Square game really well. Music. Iconic soundtrack for Yoko. Traverse Town was seriously considered to play at our wedding for a cocktail hour, and most of the iconic songs in the franchise for me reside here in KH1. And my first introduction to Square CGI, to this day, they are all still jaw-dropping. He tongue-twisted me up there. But no, that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot, is the CGI in this game when they use it is really good.
That's true.
Like, it still mostly holds up.
Yeah.
Except maybe your Skinwalker from the other side of the screen. Negatives.
Dinner's
I feel
ready,
like it's
Jason.
so easy.
Oh, it's
I feel like it's so easy to get lost in, like, every single world. 2, combat. It's simple, which is fine, but it ends up just being small jump, 3-hit combo for the whole game. And 3, gummy traversal, ball-breakingly slow between worlds.
It is ball-breaking.
My balls are shattered. Max the Man 10 says 9 out of 10. I decided to replay the entire KH series. While doing so, I wondered if there were any more episodes to the podcast, and to my surprise, you guys were doing this book club format and were about up to the same point I was in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Awesome, Max. Positives. I enjoyed collecting the synthesis materials in this game. It seemed daunting initially, but didn't feel as tedious as I expected it would. I was even bothered to get the ultimate weapon. I enjoyed playing on Proud Mode for the first time. I just finished the entire Dark Souls trilogy, and with the confidence from playing that, I figured KH1 Proud should be all good. Doing so, I enjoy KH1 a lot more than I did. Previously, I probably would have gave it a 6 out of 10. I was even able to beat Ice Titan on my first attempt.
Nice.
And then finally, replaying the game with the context of every game that comes afterwards, seeing foreshadowing like the mention of Ansem, hypothesizing about the nobodies in the Ansem reports, and beating up the unknown figure in the black cloak. Negatives. Guard being at level 33 and Second Chance being at level 90 for the Mage Rod is evil.
That's true.
The Mermaid Kick annoyed me, always triggering when I didn't want it. And the Wizard Heartless always doing the lightning attacks when I'm about to kill them.
True, dude.
Mr. Spanky says 8 out of 10. Positives. Love the music. The blending of Disney, Final Fantasy, and these new Kingdom Hearts characters they introduced was refreshing and fun. Interesting and memorable character and enemy designs. Negatives. Really wish there was more voice acting. Camera can be a pain in the ass to deal with. And Trickmaster. Nuff said.
Enough said.
Enough said. Fabio says, rating 7 out of 10. Positive. The music is incredible. Maybe the only OST of the series that doesn't have a single bad track for me. The story is top tier for the series, specifically the integration of Disney characters with the main story. And the cutscene direction is the best in the series, maybe besides BBS. The close-up angles make the story feel intimate, and the blocking doesn't feel awkward like future entries. Cage 3. Negatives. Combat and platforming is incredibly awkward to the point of being beyond frustrating. Boss fights are often poorly designed combat-wise in favor of aura/cool factor, worse than the series besides 358/2. Besides the three things I named as positives, the only things I enjoyed from the game are heavily tied to nostalgia. The game just didn't age well. I was frustrated while playing it more often than enjoying it. Okay. And that was the final answer for everybody, but now it's our turn, Jason. Let's start first with giving it let's take turns to giving our three positives, I guess.
Okay.
What we'll start with.
My first positive is going to be, this is heavily underrated in my opinion, the menu noises. The menu noises, when you equip an ability or some shit, bro, that shit is legendary, bro. I swear to God, that shit gives me dopamine every time I equip an ability, bro. Menu noises and like the ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, dude. S tier.
Okay. For my first positive, I'm gonna echo what a lot of people have said about the music.
True.
I think that this game is very leans heavily on vibes and aesthetic, and the music is probably the biggest part of that for me. There's just a lot of all-time tracks here.
Yeah.
And I think they all fit the mood. And I don't know if I'm ready to say this is the best in the series, but if I get to the point where we play through all of them again and I feel that way, it wouldn't surprise me.
For my second positive, I'm gonna go with the Coliseum, bruh. The Coliseum in this one is the best Coliseum.
Truth.
While having the worst combat somehow, because it's like they do a good job of having, like, there's like 4 cups that you have to do, and then there's like the time trial versions, and there's the solo version, and like you get rewards that are actually pretty decent from them. Like you feel rewarded, and then also like you actually get experience for it. It's just goated.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I'll also, to double down on your point, I'll say throwing like the Final Fantasy characters in there is really cool. And like the different like mini bosses and stuff, and revisiting all those in the Coliseum, I think is really cool. And then having the secret bosses kind of at the end of that.
Well, it's still to this day like underutilized like idea. Like you can have like just put replaying the bosses in there, bro. Like make harder versions of the bosses, of like Disney bosses and shit in there. You know what I mean? Like it was never really utilized until like maybe BBS kind of thing. Like if BBS does like a decent job of having like unique bosses in there and shit, and like it's not done to the degree that I think it could be done and be really, really, really good, but like it definitely is the best version of the Coliseum that we have, and I hope and pray that they freaking bring it back. Please.
My second one is something that I saw Fabio talking about, and I'm by no means like a film guy where I'm like, oh, look at the way that was shot. But this time in my playthrough, I was really impressed with a lot of the cutscenes and how they're blocked and how they were shot. Especially when Riku's involved, they do a lot of like I talked about in this episode, they have, Sora, Donald, Goofy running up in the background out of focus, and just stuff like that. The You're Stupid cutscene's another one that comes to mind, where they just put half of Riku's face when he's revealing that like he's given into the darkness and is controlling the Heartless and all that. Like, I just think that the cutscenes, when they're not doing pancake face and that, they are really, really good and really cinematic. So that would be my second one.
Number 3.
This is big that Jay's gonna come up with 3 positives to say about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. I'm gonna say. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, to give you guys an idea, like, I'm like, the Trinities are kind of cool, but then, like, I get triggered when, like, you know, I can't use the party member from that area. Like, I gotta run around with Donald and Goofy. Like, I can't beast in my motherfucking party, bro. You kidding me? And I can't say music, because you already said it.
That's true, I stole it.
Shit. You know, like, the third good thing about Kingdom Hearts, like, shit. This is basically fifth, okay? Cut me a little bit of slack, okay? Like, this is like a fifth good thing about KH1, bro.
It's true. That's true.
I'm gonna say, and this is like in the context of like other games that came out at this time, because I think like in hindsight, some of it is pretty meh, but I think the voice acting is really good compared to like other games that came out at that time. And you have a bunch of like,
time, it's really good.
You have like a bunch of like child actors in there, and like it's just it's like goofy and silly in certain ways, but also like incredibly well done and serious when it needs to be. And the voice acting performances are pretty good. And I'm not even talking about Ansem. I'm not even a Billy Zane glazer. I'm a Richard Peak-Car enjoyer. I'm like, Billy Zane isn't even second best to Ansem IMO. So like, hey, the rest, like everybody does a really good job, especially in the context of when it came out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for the time. I think if you compared it to games more recently, it's not as strong. But
yeah,
if you look at something like, I've been using this as an example because we played it recently, but like Jak and Daxter, it is miles above Jak and Daxter, and those games came out around the same time. So, yeah, I agree. My final positive is we talked about this a bit, so I'm not going to say a ton about it, but I love the idea of the secret movie, kind of the post credits.
Yeah.
Of this game, and I mean, there's a reason that it works so well for Marvel. There's a reason like it's cool to have that kind of at the end of your game, especially a game like this, which was initially supposed to be a one and done kind of deal. To have like, hey, this is what could happen after this. I'm really into that, and I really enjoyed that part. It's one of my favorite parts about KH1 for sure.
Yeah. Well, and also to add a little bit to my last point, you know, I'm playing through the game in Japanese. I'm hearing a lot of these voice lines differently and for the first time and with new voice actors and stuff. And I think I especially would want to like, the English voice actors did a better job on average, in my opinion, where like specifically like I think Haley Joel kind of mogs, you know, like he does a really good job, exceedingly so as Sora, where because he's got to be a little bit aloof and kind of stupid a little bit, because you know he's just a kid and he's like learning this shit, but like you don't ever feel like he's not really being serious, where like the Japanese VA kind of just sounds like he doesn't give a fuck sometimes. Like, he can't even be bothered to care kind of thing sometimes. Like, not the voice actor, but like the energy that Sora gives off through his performance, right, if that makes sense, right? Like, I think Haley Joel just nails it really well. Like the English VAs just do such a good job.
So let's talk about negatives, Jay. This should be easier for you. Go ahead, give me your first negative.
The motherfucking gummy ship is the worst fucking gummy ship in the entire fucking series, bro. Give me the motherfucking DDD dives over this bullshit, bro. The dives at least only last like fucking like a minute, 2 minutes. I don't have a fucking 5 minute, 6 minute, 7 minute fucking cutscene where I'm having to sit there and fucking move around in a circle so that I don't fucking get killed. Fuck that. Fuck the gummy ship.
Yeah, 100%.
And then on top of that, the fucking platinum trophy for it, fucking PS3 version. Are you fucking kidding me?
Gav, I think, was the one who called it Star Fox ass ripoff.
Yeah,
but
bro.
like, what the problem with that is that Star Fox also isn't good or fun. Like they're mimicking something that's not, like there's a reason Nintendo hasn't made a Star Fox game in forever, because those games aren't fun. They're not good.
Yeah.
So it's like we're mimicking something that like sucks. You know, like it's just I agree wholeheartedly about
it's
the
that.
If you wouldn't have said it, I would.
And at least in Kingdom Hearts 2, which it's like, well, it's also like really on rails in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like, well, at least there's like enough fucking dopamine happening where I'm like killing a bunch of shit. It's going really fast. There's these cool swooping angles underneath shit. I'm not fucking going through fucking hula hoop fucking circles that are like fucking spinning and shit. And like, oh, here comes the enemy. Can you fucking hit it? Because the fucking Ridicule's fucking dog shit and it like has to like your fucking ship moves in a fucking stupid ass way as to like make it as hard as possible to fucking aim. Like, fuck that, dude. Like, doesn't even give like and somehow Star Fox, while being way fucking older, does a better fucking job of at least having fucking dopamine on the fucking screen, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Star Fox is garbage. My first negative is going to be the camera. The camera, they put you in rooms that are too small for the camera to understand. It just doesn't work well. It works against you in a lot of ways. It's just not conducive to what the game wants to be. Even in Final Mix, they will allow you to control it with the other stick if you want, but it just doesn't do it. It's still not good enough.
Yeah, it has like a dead zone where like you have to hold it for a certain amount of time in order to make it move, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just not, the camera's just not good, not something that, not a positive of the game for sure, definitely a negative.
Dude, somehow I should go back and play like OG where like you move the fucking camera with R2 and L2 and shit. For some reason, I feel like even that would be better than what we have. Like, I feel like it'd be more snappy. Like, and at least I'm not having to like move my fucking thumb off of like X and circle to move it, kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't think it is. I think if you went and played it, it would have the same problem. You'd hold down the button and then it would sit there like you do when you try to like push it, you know?
Maybe.
I think it'd be the same.
All right, my next negative. Which one do I want to say? I'm gonna just combine these two. Boss/enemy design, where you have, when it comes to enemies, motherfuckers like large bodies, defenders, invincibles, angels, sometimes even the fucking basic shadow, the wizards, fucking soldiers going invulnerable. There's just way too much fucking bullshit that can be invulnerable or fucking clank on you, or like just like even like the power wilds are literally designed to have this little hop jump away from you over and over until you like close a certain amount of distance, kind of thing. Like the fucking, it's like it's designed to rage bait you. Like, it, for whatever reason back then, video games like wanted to make certain things hard just to make it hard for difficulty's sake, but not in a way that like they weren't as good at making it feel rewarding or like giving as clear of an avenue for success. And especially in like a action combat space, especially. Whereas like in turn-based, like turn-based games were a bit more designed to be defeated, and like enemies have very clear weakness, like, oh, you use fire on this enemy or whatever. And that's like kind of a thing in this, but not nearly as often and not nearly as effective, right? Like, you're telling me if I use Blizzard on the bandit in KH1, it doesn't really do much more damage, whereas like in KH2, you do use that same fucking ability on that same fucking enemy and it does like a 500x fucking damage. So it's just a lot of small things like that. And then the bosses, big ass fucking massive hitboxes that are somehow you're still whiffing on, like Cerberus, like Ursula, like Chernobog, like all of those. And then just rage baiting ass enemies like Jafar and shit. It's like Ursula 1, like or Trickmaster. It makes you like, if you play on anything above beginner, I think you really, really, really have to be mentally prepared for a lot of annoying shit to happen and like be okay with that in order to not come away from a lot of these fights, if you're playing on standard or proud, not slightly annoyed and it not like kind of stack up on you over time. And the fact that like Combo Master, even though I picked the sword, you don't get until like level 50 something. I think it's 53. It's like, come on, bruh. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. I mean, with all the negativity that we've had through this playthrough, that's been like, to me, the biggest one is just like the boss design and just how frustrating a lot of the bosses are, and they're hard just for the sake of being hard and not.
Where I'll give like a little caveat is I kind of like the whole like how the HP goes into like different colors, and then like
that's cool.
If it was like a super boss that has more than the max, like you're hitting it and you're not even seeing the health bar go down. I remember really, really liking that before. I still think it's cool. I think I prefer like what they end up doing in later KH games. Like I just think it looks cleaner, and the aesthetic I think is cooler in my opinion. But like there was a period of time where I really, really liked how it was like different colored bars and stuff, and then like your first time seeing like, yo, this motherfucker has a purple health bar. What is even that? Like,
yeah, like with Sephiroth,
cool.
where like his wouldn't even go down because there was like another hidden health bar.
Yeah.
Like, and you're a kid and you're like, that's so fucking cool, but when you're an adult, you're like, yeah, it's kind of annoying. I wish I knew how much damage I was doing to him. You know?
Yeah.
For sure. So for my next negative, I am going to go with Pancake Face. I think while I did praise a lot of the cutscene direction, and I think there's some really cool moments, there's also some really bad moments that are undercut by Pancake Face, where like the charm section in the sewer is a great one that was called out. It's like it cuts so quickly between like fully animated to Pancake Face that it kind of, when you're paying attention, it kind of takes you out of it. And there's a lot of moments like that in this game. And for the time, I would say it was pretty good, but again, it didn't age well. It's not something that I'm looking at this in 2026 and going, yeah, this is acceptable, right? Like if this game came out today, we would be panning that part of it for sure. Just, hey, this isn't good enough quality. So that's what I'll say for my second one.
I think the other part on top of that like really makes it ridiculous to me is the number of times this fucking game has been re-released. Like you couldn't throw like fucking 2 shekels at this shit in order to make it like just slightly better. You know what I mean? Like even in their own engine, like just make it be the fucking in-engine. Like it somehow feels worse quality than in-engine with they have this like Pancake Face shit. You know what I mean? Like can we please, especially for like, dude, like I don't care when it's some random fucking bullshit happening in a Disney world. But like the really important moments where it's like between like Sora and Riku or Sora and Kairi or like those moments, like you're telling me we released on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation fucking 5, Xbox, fucking PC, and in none of these versions or updates or ports or whatever can we go through and like just fix like a handful of cutscenes? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And like charging full price each re-release? Like,
right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Well, that's why people say it needs a remake. And after playing it, I would have said no before, but after playing it this time, I think, I don't think it needs a remake from the standpoint of like, that's what they should be focusing their time on. But if, I'm not against the idea of it being remade now if they're going to remake it, just because I think there's stuff they could fix and make it a lot better experience.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think pre my last like couple playthroughs, because I remember being like, yeah, I'd be okay with it, like back when we were doing like the charity stream and stuff with Swarls and Fabio, but like, and I think that was definitely more of a hot take then. I think most people would definitely like agree that like at this point, while I don't think it's necessary, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Whereas before, I think I would be opposed to a remake. Like, no, it doesn't need it.
Right.
It's good. Like, it's good enough. It stands on its own. Whereas at this point, I'm like, yeah, I think that, like, if I was to try and get my friends to play this, like, 1 is just such a fucking huge barrier. And a necessary one, right? Like, you can at least, like, watch the cutscenes for Recom and be like, that's fine. It's like there's some stuff in it that's introduced and some characters that, like, you know, just watching the cutscenes or like somebody explaining it, you maybe lose a little bit of that. Like, but not really to any degree that's like super matters. And also, people can always go back and play it if they fall in love with the series. But like, it genuinely is, like, as somebody who wants Kingdom Hearts to succeed and Square Enix to succeed so that there's more Kingdom Hearts, like, 1's fucking rough now, dude. Like, just straight up. When it's like, oh, I could go play fucking God of War or Kingdom Hearts. And, like, as, like, a Kingdom Hearts super fan, I'm like, shit, you might need to go play God of War. Like,
yeah,
you might need to go play that shit first.
Yeah. All right, what's your final negative, Jay?
My final negative. I'm gonna go with this. This has been said, but I was like, I felt it in my soul when it was said. The Keyblades, and like when you get them, and like the quirkiness of like, well, this one actually has like dog shit ass reach, so it's basically useless. Like.
Yeah,
I really do like a little wrinkle that I like is that some of them have like, oh, yo, this one has like a higher crit chance, or like this one you can crit multiple times in a row. And, like, that's like a huge upgrade. Like, that type of shit I think is cool, but like by far the worst Keyblade, like when you get them, what's the difference in strength and power, or like they don't really have like passives like you do in like KH2 where it's like, oh yeah, like the Atlantica Keyblade is like pretty fucking useless, but actually when you fight like Data Axle, it's like pretty fucking helpful actually, and like really really useful. If I put on like a random Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2 that maybe while it's not the strongest, like it's not like, oh, this is like the meta one, I for the most part am not gonna feel like a huge, like, for example, I really like the like Lionheart Keyblades and shit, because I fucking like Final Fantasy VIII. And so it's like, whenever I use those and go out of my way to use those, I don't really feel like I'm giving up too much. Whereas like in this, if I'm using a suboptimal or poor Keyblade in this, I fucking feel it. Whether it's the reach on the Keyblade or the damage, or like, yo, if you are not just spamming magic with this Keyblade, it's fucking dog shit useless. Whereas like that's not really a thing in any of the other games. They all have like a certain length to them where like you're not really feeling like you're ever giving up on that, and like the length matters the most in this game by far, and it still feels fucking rough. The only other game where like the reach of them can feel a little bit weird is like a BBS in my opinion, but like it really feels dog shit to like have the beginning of the game where like Wonderland, you don't get Lady Luck till way fucking later. Olympus Coliseum, you don't get it till way fucking later. And then like you finally get your first Keyblade upgrade at Deep Jungle. And then like it for whatever reason, so many of them are like backfilled to the later half, but they just get like mogged by like Rumbling Rose, or like most of them just, you're not really ever going to use them for more than like a couple of rooms kind of thing, if that, if ever. And it's like supposed to be like the biggest fucking dopamine, like when you're like playing it like your first time, you're like, yo, new Keyblade, let's fucking go. And then like you're immediately feeling like whiffing on enemies that you normally wouldn't, and you're like, bruh, come on, bruh. Go back to the old one. This feels so shit.
I agree. And this is something they do a better job of in later games, but I don't know that they entirely solved it. But it's pretty bad in Final Mix, especially like you said and other people said. It's like some of these Keyblades just don't even get taken out of the backpack, you know? They're just never used. My final one, and similar, this has been mentioned, and I felt this one in my soul in the same way you did, but too many fucking pedophiles, dude. Like, Like Jiminy Cricket and Peter Pan. Like, come on, that's way too many pedophiles.
Come on, now, bro.
It's in the name.
Come on, now, bro.
It's in the name. It's in the name. So yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm actually gonna say it. The Atlantica and the boss fights where they take away your abilities so you can fly and fight or swim and fight. In general, I think that's just. I will, when we get to KH2, I'll say the same thing about Lion Simba.
Yep.
I don't like
spoilers
when you spend time building your character in an RPG, and then there's full levels and boss fights that take away what you've built and make you play completely differently.
Shout out literally 80% of Recoded.
Well, Recoded's I've never played Recoded. I've only watched you play it. But with Recoded, it's obviously a mess because they allow you to build your character, but then, like, you're right. 80% of the game, you're not using that stuff.
Well, and that is like the coolest part.
I at least have a little respect for that because it's like, that's a choice they made for the whole game, right? Where this, it's like, no, we wanted to do Lion King so bad, and it's just literally impossible that Sora could be a humanoid character. And so we have to take away your agency of the character you built. And same with like Atlantica, you have to swim, and I get that you have to swim. It's an underwater world, but like, I would just rather they not do that and especially if it's like if it controls fun. Like, I have a little more sympathy for Lion Simba because at least he's like somewhat fun to control and move.
Yeah,
Atlantica is just dog shit. Like, it's just like, it's not a fun battle system. And it's just not good. And then they make you fight.
Getting around is a chore.
In the same way. Yeah.
Just getting around is a fucking chore in the swimming in Atlantica. At least I have fun when when you get that motherfucking dash ability in KH2, bro. You're like, yeah, you fucking fast as fuck, boy. Fucking drifting and shit. Yeah. That shit's hype, bro.
I just hate that. I hate when games do that, and especially if what they replace it with is absolute dog shit like Atlantica. So. And also too many pedophiles, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just too many. Too many. Not an acceptable amount.
It's over quota. We need to find them.
All right. Well, Jay, I got to be honest with you. We got to this point. I don't really have a plan of what the next steps are.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it. Like, obviously, up next on the list is Rechain of Memories or Chain of Memories.
Like, we haven't talked about it both, like, on the pod or, like, stream, or actually just like in DMs or whatever. Like, we haven't talked about it, period.
We have literally not talked about this at all. I've had the thought of playing original Chain on an emulator. But I think, to me, Rechain is kind of just replaced that canon-wise, right?
Yeah.
The subtle changes in the story or whatever don't matter because they've replaced them with Rechain.
Yeah.
So I don't know that is a worthwhile venture. And then when you consider that, we put footage up on the podcast of the games that I'm playing through, and when you consider that all my footage would just be original Chain, unless I decided to play both, and then I don't want to do that.
No.
So I think I'm gonna play Rechain.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, where do we get to in Rechain for the next episode?
The thing that's interesting is that you choose the order in which what worlds. So,
but they give them to you. They give them to you in
batches.
Packs, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, I think because the way and you'll have to remind me because I haven't played this game in a while. But the idea is you get into the game, you get into Castle Oblivion, and then you do Traverse Town before they give you any other.
Yeah, it's like the tutorial,
right?
Yeah.
But it's not just the tutorial. Like, there's stuff you do in Traverse Town, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like it's a whole level. Yeah.
Right. So my thought process would be because we're gonna do the thing where we go over like the dev history and the different stuff like we did with Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
That we just get to the end of Traverse Town and then we can do the different batches for each episode after that.
Yeah, I think that works.
That works. I don't remember if I couldn't remember exactly if that's how the game worked.
And there's a lot of cutscenes
I'm
at the beginning too, so there's a lot to talk about.
We will be recording this episode on the 29th of April. So please look forward to that. Get to the end of Traverse Town in Rechain if you're following along with us, and that will mean that we are lined up. And then we need to come up with a question of the week for that episode. All right, so this week's question of the week, or this episode's question of the week, I don't know, is basically similar to what we did with Kingdom Hearts 1 in the first episode. What is your first memory or first impression of Kingdom Hearts, either Chain of Memories or Rechain of Memories? We're kind of pushing them into one here. So if you played Chain first, that's fine. If you played Rechain first, that's fine. But tell us about your earliest memories of this game. And next episode, we will dive into, the making of this game and the first, little bit of it. And we'll go from there. So that's the question of the week. Jason, anything else you want to say about Kingdom Hearts 1? We finally did it. You dropped the ring into Mordor.
Yeah, dude. I'm like feeling so good, dude. I'm walking on sunshine, like it was like it felt like homework to play this game sometimes for the fucking podcast, where it's like, man, I see all my homies in the Discord right now, or like, man, I should really sleep. I don't want to do this. I want to go to sleep. And then like just gotta do it. Whereas now I'm gonna be like, fuck, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop right here. Like, this is where, for me, I love Rechain. I like most of the side games, right? Like, I'm a huge BBS fan too. Like, I'm just excited. One of the things that I think Chain of Memories does really well, that like I wish more games in general would do, is like, you go through the whole story and you learn it at like a normal video game pace, as far as like, okay, here's this, now here's this, now here's this, now here's this. And you get this whole progression of like feeling stronger and learning more and getting better at the combat system. And then they're like, yo, do that shit again, but way fucking faster. And it doesn't have any of the like padding or fluff, and like just how good you are is how fast you can go. And it just feels very rewarding in a way that like I feel like a lot of games don't really do as well, or like just don't have at all, because like they don't bother to have any type of like New Game Plus or like anything adjacent to that I'm really excited to go through. Yeah, as far as KH1 goes, we didn't give our rating. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. And you might be like, Jay, I heard you fucking rant and ramble over the last several months for probably combined like hour, 2 hours of just ranting alone. How the fuck are you giving it a 7? Well, it's because, the things that you love, you're going to be critical of because you want it to be better. But also having the hindsight of like, yo, they did do this shit better. Kingdom Hearts 1, outside of Recoded, is the worst Kingdom Hearts game. And it should be. Because it's the first fucking one. They're just supposed to get better. And to me, they did. And it's in different ways. They innovated and they went down different paths as far as like, the handheld games versus the mainline games. But I think that they continued to innovate and make it better. I give respect to it, but I think in a very similar way, I think it was Fabio said, where it's like a lot of times I just end up finding myself more frustrated because it's like, I know what it's like to be running without the motherfucking weights on, and right. I want to do that. And I definitely have a lot of nostalgia and respect for the first game, but I just, the things that are good about it don't like really outweigh the things that end up just grinding my gears over time. I think the first like third of Kingdom Hearts is really, really good. Second, third is like if I give like the first third of the game, that's like a 9 out of 10. Second third of the game, I think it goes down a little bit, but it's not like you end up getting some things. I probably give that like an 8 out of 10. And then the last third of the game, I'm way more down on. The enemies get way worse. I don't like the end game. Obviously, I ranted about it. That shit's like a 5 out of 10. And that's not even rage bait. Like, that's just how I fucking feel. So overall, I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10. It's just pretty fucking solid, especially when you get in the context of that time. Maybe it goes up to like an 8 or a 9, but I'm going to say right now, with the context of everything, it's just like a solid 7 out of 10. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's got a lot of heart. Kingdom Heart. And it's pretty fucking
It's got
good.
a lot of Kingdom Heart. It's so true. I would personally give it more like a 7.7 out of 10. I'm a little more positive on it than you are. It's a game that has some pretty glaring flaws, especially when you look at it through the lens of today. I think back in the day, it gets a higher score compared to a lot of its contemporaries, but I think now there's some stuff that just hasn't aged well. While I still have a lot of nostalgia and love for the game, it's not something I plan on revisiting anytime soon, because I think I got my fill, and I'm excited to move on to better things. Like, to your point, it should be the worst game in the series, right? If they progress in the way they should. Recoded's looking at us, and maybe 358's looking at us a little bit, but we'll see with that one when we get to that one. But I think that that should be the goal of any development team that's making a series. Is the newest game should be the best game, and the oldest one should be the worst. And I think that I don't know that curve is exact with Kingdom Hearts, and we'll keep playing to get to that point and see how we feel about it. But lots of respect to Kingdom Hearts 1. I know we were very negative on it, but it's a game I think very fondly of. I'm good right now on it. I think I've played enough of it for now. Thank you for listening, everybody, to this very long episode of the Ansem Report podcast. The 29th, April 29th, Wednesday, we'll be recording again, and that's where we'll want you guys to get to past Traverse Town and reach Chain of Memories. And our question of the week is, what's your first impression / first memory of Rechain or Chain of Memories? Let us know in the Discord. Discord's in the description. Send us an email at answerreportpodcast@gmail.com if you want to talk to us outside of the Discord, or leave a comment on YouTube. We love those as well. And thank you guys again for supporting us, listening and watching. Go check out March Caprice stuff. Go check out Reconnect stuff. Engage in the Kingdom Hearts community. That's what it's all about. And that's all I got for this week. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Now fuck up.